Yeah.
What's up with it?
Yeah, we back another week. We know y'all missed us last week. We took a little break, but
We
we
took a
back.
little mini break to watch y'all cook all that bad food on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So we back. Y'all know we got some fire for y'all today. Another
Yeah,
great topic. Um, y'all know y'all been waiting for topics like this. We've been asked a few times about this topic, and
hmm
Benji, we had a little vote behind the scenes, and this one got
yeah,
voted in for this episode. So we said let's run it, let's roll with it, and we got love them or leave them. You know what I'm saying? Because the simple fact of some stuff going on out there, you know what I'm saying, that you might be stuck in a situation where you confused. You don't know whether
yes.
to stay or you don't know whether to go. Well,
I
today
mean,
we're gonna try to help you. We're gonna try
we're
to
gonna,
help
we're gonna, we're gonna, we're gonna try. We
you.
got my man who's been married 20 plus years. You
Mm.
got me who was married for 13 years. We could give some good advice on this. What you think, Ken?
Yeah, we go.
Because because I left. So
Oh,
you got Mr. Stay and you got Mr. Deuces on the show tonight.
oh,
That's a
shit.
fact. That's a fact. And we also got a special guest. We got
Yes.
Yes.
Miss Nikki
Hey,
here with
Miss
y'all.
us.
Nikita. What's going on,
Hey.
girl?
So y'all have Mr. Stay and Mr. Left and Mr. Don't Ever Want to Be Married. Hey, y'all.
What?
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
So,
y'all see that? Hold on. Let me do this real quick. Patricia, we know you got to handle your business, but hurry up and get to the show, girl. We miss you. We need you here.
yes.
All right, we need you here. We know you take care of business, but hurry up. We need you. Hurry up. Just be safe out there. All right.
Yup. Okay. So y'all know how we do when we start the show. We got to check on our peoples. So we're gonna check on our guest first. Miss Nikki, how you doing today? And how's your week going so far?
I am good. It is going good. And thank y'all for having me on such an amazing show. Y'all are very fire. I've been checking y'all out. But my week has been very good. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Yeah, we the 5 session. We got to have 5 guests. You know what I'm saying? We got to
Yes.
have.
Well, I
Yeah,
appreciate it. Okay, I'm
I
fire. I
expect you to
like
bring
that.
that heat. I told Ken,
I
I was like,
like
I gotta get her on.
that.
So she makes it happen. So we gotta get
Thank
her
you.
on. So
I appreciate it.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Benji Banks, the man, the brand. Talk to a brother, man. How your week started off so far?
Okay. Week has been cool, but y'all gonna follow me on IG, BRB4701. I pulled up on my son today, Ken. He was bugging me, you know what I'm saying? He was like, Dad, I need you, I'm in the spelling bee. Da, da, da. He broke it down, whatever, happy. I was like, all right, cool. That's my boy. I'm about to pull up on him, man. About to pull up on him, spelling bee. Why he get kicked out in the second round, bro? He didn't even make it to.
Oh,
I'm like, come on, kid. Like you called me over here for these L's. Like I gotta witness these L's, you know
oh,
what I'm saying?
Hey, it's the support that counts. It's not about
yes.
the L. It's the support because I'm gonna tell you what. That's the equivalent to you going to see your son play in a basketball game. He gets ejected.
Mm-hmm.
He gets ejected before halftime. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
I mean, it's there. You there to support. So you
I
did
mean,
Right.
he
support.
kept looking back. He kept looking back, Dad, are you here? Dad, are you here? Like I got like 10, 15 texts. I'm like, I'm on my way, son. I'm there. I'm there. He got his first word, Ken. Second word. And guess what the word was?
Don't do
Damn
it.
it.
Don't do it.
I'm like, which was fitting for tonight's show because folks be doing damage in these relationships, man.
Mm.
So
That's
Folks
good.
do damage and be damaged.
Right.
yes. So we got some things to talk about, but I just I had to throw up the L for him, you know what I'm saying, while he was up there on the front seat because he's a smart kid. He got the front seat, you know what I'm saying. They expected him to go a little bit further than he went.
Yeah.
This Negro got kicked out in the second round. Reminded me of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm just saying.
Hey, not too much on my Cowboys. My Cowboys rolled this week, and we had folks out there hating, saying, okay, it's just the Colts. It's just the Colts. Well, those are the same Colts that almost beat the Philadelphia Eagles a couple weeks ago, and Philly
Yeah.
only won by 1 point. So let's talk about that. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna go into detail. I'm just saying it's the hate that we receive from people, and he knows the 49ers, which is his team, and we've confirmed that now. The 49ers is Benji's team, and I can't speak negatively against the 49ers because my cousin is the linebackers coach for the 49ers.
Oh, nice.
So
it's all right though.
We'll speak ill against them, but the Cowboys get all the hate, but that's cool because guess what? Every week we're the highest rated and most viewed game out there. Every week, don't matter what time we play. Everybody wants to see the Cowboys, and that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying?
We understand Jerry Jones can talk a rock off a cliff, man, but it's okay though. You know what I'm saying? It's all right.
Well, hey, y'all,
he's the ultimate salesman.
Y'all doing a lot of talking for us. Y'all sell a product for us. You know what I'm saying?
Hey. I mean, I am a native, so you know what I'm saying. I have, they got a spot in a brother's, you know what I'm saying, memory bank. You know what I'm saying. My mama took me to my first Cowboys game against the Packers. So I mean, hey, I mean, it's just, I just can't stand y'all. It's okay though. It's right.
Well, with a game like that, my week definitely started off good. Y'all already know your boy's still on IR. You know what I'm saying? I had surgery.
Injured reserve. He done tore his Achilles trying to get out there with the young bucks and cross somebody up. So let me ask this though. How did you officially tear it? Was you crossing somebody up? Was you pulling up for 3 off the dribble? Was it off the screen? Like, what was it, bro?
Curled off a screen. Going to the basket, threw a pass, going toward the basket, and when I, cut, pop.
The thing gave out, huh?
Just pop. And the crazy thing about it is, I'll say this: a lot of people, of course, how we do in our community. We're gonna give everybody the 5th degree when they get injured. Say they old, they doing this, they doing that.
You old.
Let me be transparent and honest with everybody out there, man. The doctor did tell me that this could happen to anybody at any time. So y'all need
for me.
No. Y'all need to be seriously. Y'all need to be looking it up and figuring out how to get up in the morning. And I'm a great advocate for stretching a lot of your parts of your body because they tight and you don't know it until something happens to it. And he said he even had a guy come in there that was actually just walking in Home Depot and bent down to pick something up, and his popped because it was so tight. So
that just means he was old.
No, it don't. It don't mean. Okay,
it can happen during sex. No, I'm just playing.
I mean, it's a possibility.
Well, so I mean, hey, so Kobe's old. Kobe was old when it happened. Nah, it could happen to anybody. I don't care.
Right.
He's one of the top athletes. He was one of the top athletes in the world at the time.
Wait. Hold on, Nikita. You must have torn Achilles having sex one time. You know these things. How you ain't just gonna get by and just throw that comment out there like that. You done messed something up. See, you done pulled a muscle, didn't you?
I know probably a couple of or a man. Probably, Not I ain't gonna put out a couple of them, but yeah,
I mean, it can happen. It can happen. Because sometimes I'm pretty sure somebody out there has gotten a Charlie horse during sex.
Right.
Yeah, I'm guilty. Yes, and I had to go eat a banana and grab my, my little my little drink on the side of my Gatorade. Fellas, keep your Gatorade and your bananas on the side of the bed. I'm just saying.
Well, I don't know if you want to keep the bananas on the side of the bed though.
Oh no, right?
I mean, you need a little piece, man. Just need a little piece, just a little piece of banana. You know what I'm saying? Just a little piece. And keep your Gatorade.
Hold on, if you're gonna keep bananas on the side of your bed, make sure you cut it up before you put it on the side of your bed. You can't have no whole banana out of your bed when your girl come in, because that's gonna look weird. That's gonna
I mean, listen, man. Sometimes you be twerking it out and sweating it out. You know what I'm saying? So you might be losing some potassium, man. I'm just saying.
As long as you're not twerking, you're good.
No. Hey, but hold on. Women do say men actually twerk in the bedroom. I'm just saying that they say when you on top of them, you be twerking, bro.
I mean,
I guess.
that's a given. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. I mean, actually the art of twerking like a woman.
Nah, we ain't. I ain't living that life. I ain't
But you
living
Right.
can't
that.
be doing that. You can't be doing that
Nah,
type
I
of
ain't
stuff.
doing that. I ain't doing that. I'm just
Yeah,
saying. But
Benji, you over here talking about
sisters be trying to make
bananas and
fun of us. So,
twerking.
you know what I'm saying?
Bananas and twerking, Benji. That don't sound too great. No.
Pickle juice, small bottle, $1.50.
Yeah, always say pickle juice, small
Hey,
pound, $1.50.
I don't know. That magnesium in that pickle, that what you call might not be good for that moment. I'm just saying.
Well, you can always keep you some Pedialyte. Pedialyte makes some excellent selections of flavors to keep around. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect.
So you can be hydrated at all times. Because I'm pretty sure not everybody drinks enough water, so it's okay to drink some Pedialyte every now and again.
Hydrate, man.
Yeah, hydrate.
Brothers, hydrate before you get down to business. Make sure you hydrate. Just
Yeah,
saying.
I was gonna say something, but I'm gonna keep that to myself. You know what I'm saying? It was hydrate, and then it was the okay. Never mind.
Yeah, it's
Right.
okay, brother.
Okay,
It's all right.
okay. Y'all know we talking about leaving the stand, and of course I'm gonna put the question on my Facebook page every time to see what type of what I'm saying responses we get. So this is what I threw up. How do you know when it's time to part ways in a relationship? What are some deal breakers? And we're just gonna go through some of the comments that I got. Some of the comments that I got was very, very interesting. We'll start with Mickey Burns. Mickey Burns say when everything they do annoys you to no end. How about that?
Okay. That's
Situation
that's a good
where
one.
where you get to the point where everything they do, even just the sight of them, annoys you, Miss Nikita. How about you? Like, have you ever been in a relationship before, been with somebody, and everything they did started to annoy you?
Everything. You know what? But that was more because I got in it knowing that he was a deal breaker from the start.
Ooh.
So I yeah, everything. I'm talking about just him breathing was a deal breaker
Brother
for
can't
me.
breathe.
Hold on. But how did you get into a relationship with somebody that was a deal breaker from the start? Break that down for us. That's interesting.
He must
You
have
know
been
what?
laying
It's
that pipe
because
proper, boy. I tell you.
yeah, I was young and I was in the it was circumstantial. I needed him, in many ways, for as a provider. And yeah, it was like, okay, it's like a business deal in a sense. Even though he didn't know it was a business deal, it was a business deal for me.
Wait a minute.
And
Wait a minute.
yeah,
Was this a sugar daddy?
no, not necessarily, but I mean, kind of,
I
I
mean,
guess so.
ultimately they end up becoming a sugar daddy. I mean,
Yeah, pretty much. And so, yeah, he was just a deal breaker from the start. There was nothing that I was attracted to or anything like that. Benji, I'm just gonna keep it real and tell it how it is. So, but yeah, he was a deal breaker from the beginning.
right,
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's interesting because a lot of people out there do get involved with people that they know they don't have a future with, but they
right.
know it's for that time being, and that's
Yes.
tough to put yourself in that situation, even though it's advantageous, for you, and you're reaping some benefits from that situation. That's gotta be tough to be hanging around because I don't want to be around nobody that I can't stand.
It was most
Yeah,
definitely
I can't
tough.
do it. If everything you do annoys me, like if
Yes.
you talk too much, like you used to, that used to be cool, but then you start talking too much. Like, yeah, so I get it. I understand.
Hmm.
I mean,
Uh,
they leave their clothes on the side of the bed, all that type of stuff. Everything you
Hmm.
do.
All right, so we got Miss Valette Reese. She said, "When I feel like I have to try to get other people to see the good in you,
Mm.
time that it's time to exit stage left." Listen,
Oh,
I
that's
tell you
good.
this
Good.
all the time. If you got to tell people how cool or how good or how not sorry your boyfriend is, he's sorry because
Hmm.
Yes.
you shouldn't have to, do a whole spiel about your man or about your woman everywhere you go
Hmm.
to everybody because everybody thinks they trash.
Now
Right.
that's a good point because I wonder how many ladies have actually had to do that.
A lot,
Hmm.
a lot. Uh,
Yeah.
I guarantee you a lot, bro. Because I mean, listen, we do that type of wild stuff, man. We go out and we seek people that we shouldn't be seeking. Put it that way. And sometimes we fall into the situations like this, man, where they seem one way at first, but then we start to see the real them, because a lot of times we talk about it all the time is we see people's representative at the beginning,
Right.
right? They want you to see. Then throughout that time, the real person starts to peak, and you
Right.
start to see that person, and then you're like, okay, wait a minute, I didn't see this at first.
Mm-hmm.
This person kind of trash.
Right.
Right. Just they ain't walking on toilet paper. They naturally just full of shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it happens, and I know it happens. It should be organic. We're not forcing anything. That sounds good on paper, but how many people have actually said that and have went forward with relationships they that were doomed from the beginning? I'm guilty. I did.
mm,
I'm guilty. My
So I'm
first
curious.
relationship out here in Cali, that's what I did. So
I was gonna ask you, how did you know it was? Did you know it was doomed from the beginning?
yeah, because I had no business being in a relationship at 19, 20 years old,
Mm.
coming from Texas to California. I should have been more focused on goals, that type of thing, But looking for a companionship, you just kind of jump into the first thing that jumps at you, so to speak,
Mm.
right? And being young and dumb has a lot to do with that. But ultimately, I think for a lot of guys, you really just looking for the first piece you can get, so to speak. And
Mm.
you just kind of jump, you jump at it because of that. And when you're that young and dumb, that's what you get into. You get what I'm saying? So, and I'm big on when I meet parents and this and this and this and that, because I'm kind of superficial in that way. Like if I meet your folks and they ugly, I that's kind of like my sign to be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm good on this.
yeah.
So sorry, but I'm a little superficial like that. But yeah, and there were other factors along with it. But sometimes you just kind of go with things because you think it's the right thing to do, and that could be further from the truth than anything.
Yeah, sometimes that thinking it's the right thing to do, it gets you because you have to go with your first mind. A lot of times, your first mind, like they say, your intuition is right. You know what I'm saying, in situations, and then you try to anytime. Like my mom used to always tell me, anytime you got to try to sell it to yourself, is
Mm.
is usually wrong. When you got to try to sell it to yourself. So
Right.
when you got to try to sell any idea, an idea of relationship, an idea of a business, an idea of anything, if you got to try to sell it to yourself, it's usually
That's good.
it's usually not what you want. So you know what I'm saying. So stay away from that, man. And
Yeah,
like,
that's like that. That's like that devil on your shoulder trying to convince you to do it, huh?
yeah, because at some points in my life, it was two devils, not a devil and an angel. It was devil on both sides. So it's just
See,
all
Yeah.
on my side, it was the devil was the old school pimp on one side, and then the other side was the actual devil. So
terrible. All
it's
right.
horrible. Because if you listen to your uncles growing up, trust me, they weren't having that.
Yeah. All right. So Ashley Page said, when you stop caring about the well-being, ding ding, when their presence starts to change your mood, as kind of what we said
Mm.
for the worse, and when you've lost all desire to be intimate or spend time with them, that's tough.
Ooh, yeah,
That
that
is
third one is
Mm.
tough.
that last one is tough.
How do you not want to be intimate? And see, that to me just means y'all don't like each other. Because I don't know two people who don't want to have intercourse with each other that like each other.
That's what
That's
I was
bad.
just gonna say. Like, I don't care how mad you are or how upset. Usually, that's the last thing to go. You know,
Yeah, like if like we can be
Mm.
at it because everybody knows, if we'll be honest, everybody knows makeup sex is pretty dope.
Mm.
But if y'all don't like each other and you mean to tell me you ain't clapping? Oh man, you
I
got
think
issues.
for
Yeah, y'all
women,
really don't like each other.
I think for women, the sex goes first. You start being not you no longer attracted. That starts to go first for women.
and
At
that's why.
least majority.
No, but that's what I was just about to say too. I'm speaking from a guy standpoint, but
Yeah.
like we always say, guys do everything for ego, women do it for emo. So
Right.
women are emotionally driven. So if their
Yeah.
emotions ain't in it, you ain't in it either.
Right, absolutely. Because we have to think about it. Intimacy and sex, it is good with emotions. It's good to meet people. Okay, whatever. You probably meet somebody one night stand, but it's better when you can feel that, connection with each other. And so if I'm not vibing with you like that, the sex ain't gonna be good. So why waste my time?
Well,
Right.
Mickey Burns say she still wanted when she mad.
Right.
It's a
Like
difference between
I
being
know women
mad.
like that.
It's
You
a
better
difference
not.
between
You
being
better
no.
not stop having sex with me. That because I think most women know if a guy stops having sex with her, then he's really not into her.
But see, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. And then there's a difference between me being mad at you. I could be upset with you all day, but that doesn't mean that I don't want to be intimate with you.
Right.
Being mad and not attracted to someone, and that's why I don't want to be intimate. Because what was the question? I mean, what was the response again?
She said when you lost all desire to be intimate or spend time with them.
Right. So that's different than mad. I didn't lost a desire. I didn't lost interest. I didn't not. That's completely different than I'm mad and we gonna screw and make up.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
that's tough.
agree.
That's a tough one to recover from, man. Because I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
to that point,
Brothers, we still want to smash. So if I don't want to smash you, we got issues.
yeah. So that's a hard one to recover from. So we appreciate Ashley Page for that, because that's a good one.
Shout
Definitely,
out to Ashley Page. Shout out to Ashley.
no doubt. All right. So we got Jamal Clyde Bolden. He broke it down. He gave a little dissertation here. Said when your feelings for that person changes so much that you're hurting them more by staying,
Mm.
causes the relationship to become bitter and toxic. In the end, what could have been graceful what could have been a graceful end to the relationship instead results in the worst in people to come out and no healing. That's a lot. Whew,
Yeah.
a lot. That's a lot. Oh man.
Dang. I see. I want to know if those feelings and those hurts and all of that toxic stuff was there from the beginning, and y'all just kind of sexed over it and kind of just dealt with each other over time. Because that stuff usually rises up only out of you that's been there in most cases, unless that person just brings it out of you.
Well, I think a lot of people do arrive in relationships, and we talked about this many times. People arrive broken, and they arrive with all this baggage. And
Right.
instead of in between the relationships that they're in, unloading the baggage to go into the next situation with, what I'm saying, with a clear slate, they just keep taking baggage from one place to another. So,
Facts.
that creates that problem of coming into a relationship with that hurt and that toxicity that what I'm saying is already in you. Then now you're pouring it into another situation and
Right.
taking a whole nother situation that didn't have to be that way necessarily, but now it definitely is. But I think that if those are one of those situations where I think if you go seek counseling and you go seek counseling separately and then you go seek counseling together, that might be something that can be repaired. But you got to
Okay,
be
so Lord Christie says, "Oh yes, it was a mess from the start, but he was fine."
Oh, goodness.
So, ladies, y'all overlooking this stuff because the brother's fine. What's
No.
going on?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, they are.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
I might
Fine
I might
people get
overlook
away
it.
with more. I bet you everybody who can hear this comment would agree. Fine, sexy people get away with more. And if we're honest with each other,
Yeah.
most of the folks that are a complete mess are the beautiful, fine-looking people. And you think they are, but they're not.
Yeah, they got a lot of damage. A lot of the best looking people then been through the most mess.
Yes, because
So,
everybody trying to get at it.
yeah.
So
I
y'all be
might
careful
overlook
out
it.
there,
I
ladies.
might
Just because
overlook
he
it
fine, don't mean
right. No, I might overlook it because of the sex, but not because of looks. Looks come a dime a dozen.
so. You'll date an ugly dude then?
I would, yes, I like ugly dudes, actually.
But hold on though. This is the funny thing because you making that statement. If anybody that you've dated in the past is looking at this or happens to see this, they're gonna question themselves. They'll be like, "Dang, I'm ugly." Fact.
Most
No,
likely,
Nikita will tell them they ugly from the start.
no, but most likely they are ugly, and I'm sure that they probably know that
I don't know.
already.
I don't know.
know it.
Me and Ken were talking about this. Some of these girls who think they are 10 be a whole 1.5.
No, for sure. I get it. I agree.
Round it up.
I agree.
Round it up to
2. We give them a 2. Okay. Some of these 2s think they 10s.
Right. You know.
And that goes for men and women.
No, I get it. I get it. But most ugly men know that they're ugly for sure. Even if a 2 as a woman don't know she a 2, you got to think of it like this: all men try to get at a woman, even if she a 2. So she brainwashed. She don't even know. True, you know, right? That she a 2. But ugly men everybody ain't really trying to just, you know.
Well, I put it to you ugly man. I put it to you like this. I quote a lot. I quote a lot of my OGs and my older people around me because that's why I used to hang around as a kid. And I heard one of my OGs tell me even the dented can of food in the grocery store gets picked. So
even the dented can in the grocery store gets
picked. So, you know what I'm saying? So no matter what they look like, somebody out there, male or female, is going to want at some point. But it's just about, you know what I'm saying, finding the right person to connect with, right?
I would agree. Because you see some of these fine women with some of these ugly brothers, boy, and you'd be like, how did he pull her?
Well, sometimes it's confidence. Sometimes it's confidence. And then, you know what I'm saying, they get in the bedroom and maybe they got some bedroom skills that mine. And then it goes from there. But it all starts with confidence, generally. So most women, even if they date an ugly dude, he's an ugly dude, but he got to have some confidence. That's what I've been told many times. They got to have some confidence.
Love Christie said, if he's ugly and has a job, he usually has an attitude.
You can't be ugly and have an attitude. You got to pick a struggle.
You got to pick a struggle?
Pick a struggle.
Oh, damn.
But if he got a job, though, he paying the bills. So, Nikita, will you overlook that?
Not at this place in my life, no.
I just want to say, temporarily when she was younger, but now, no.
Yeah, no. I used to, you know who I used to think was fine as hell when I was younger? Shabba Ranks and Seal.
Oh.
Mr.
Whoa.
The ugly man, Shabba.
Shabba? I can't believe this. You thought Shabba was fine?
I really did. It
must have been the lyrics. Fellas, sing if you can.
Hold on. Let's break this down. Now, let's go into this sidebar conversation a little bit. What's fine and what's cute? Cute is face, fine is body. Shabba Ranks had a great body, right? He worked out, he was cut up. So when she says fine, then he will fit in that category. It's just like if we look at, I'm trying to think of a woman that isn't so great looking in the face, but her body's amazing. She's fine, but she's not cute. So it's a difference because for me growing up, I wasn't into the bodies. I was into the face, and I've always been a face guy. So if a girl was cute, like she had a chance. Like don't matter if she was big or small, like she had a chance because she was cute. So
same for me. If she had a cute face, we could work on the body because you can go to the gym and fix that. And plus, exercise makes you look better, but so does tequila. So.
Well, you know what? But see, that's part of the issue too. But see, because if you start dating a woman and she's a certain way or she's built a certain way, it's dangerous to go into it with the mindset of thinking, well, she's cute so she can lose weight. But what if she don't want to lose weight? What if that ain't in her plans? Then you create a situation for yourself because you're getting into something that might not go the way you want it to go.
Right.
Yeah, I went through that one too. I went through that one too. This wine is tasting really good right now.
Yeah.
I think I will reveal too much on tonight's show.
Yeah. That's part of it too. Let's see. Love Christie said, I just can't let an ugly brother climb on me, but the fine brother don't have pensions. And then she said, wait, Shabba? Yeah, that Shaba throwing everybody
Shaba.
for a loop, you know.
I'm sure
Yes.
Shaba got him. I'm sure Shaba got him some nice pieces of Virginia out there.
And Seal had a beautiful wife. They just recently divorced, but he had a beautiful wife.
Yeah, but she wasn't
See,
black.
I mean, money talks, BS walks. I'm just
Yeah, but
saying.
she wasn't black though. See, that's the difference because sometimes other races be accepting, you know what I'm saying, black men for flaws and all, but the sisters be like, no. The sisters be like, no. And his face kind of look like a brownie when it's done. So nah, he's like,
Not a
nah,
brownie.
Coming from my boy.
nah. But he can sing though. So see, that's a plus because a lot of women like dudes that can sing. So
I mean,
maybe
he had some hit records, so I mean that'll get you in the dough in a lot of places.
Right.
Plus, you can get in free at the club, ladies. So we understand why you rolling with Shaba.
okay.
Samantha Allen says a man's ways can make him sexy even if he's not handsome. Would y'all agree with that?
Mhm. Yes.
I
That
think
confidence,
I
that
think that falls
swag,
under
the way he
confidence.
Yeah.
dresses.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Okay.
that comes from the confidence, and like I said, you know, can you be overly confident? Of course, you know you can be overly
Yes, you can.
confident, but
We don't need
Really?
to see no thongs and you 350.
yeah, so
I don't
that's
care where you at.
we
I don't
having an
want to
issue
see no
with that.
thong and you 350.
Yeah, we having an issue with that right now in society. We don't knock anybody on what you do, but some things just isn't is not great for my vision. So you know,
Yes, it's
Right.
we don't need to see. We don't need to see it, baby. We don't need to see it. Leave something to the imagination. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I
But
don't
see,
know.
in this porn era, I mean, people don't really care. They just throwing it all out there.
But it's somebody for everybody. Like you say, we
Right.
talked about this before, even with the porn era. Even with porn era, there's a section on Pornhub for big girls. So somebody is chasing them.
Right.
So somebody
Yeah,
does want to see that 350, 400 pound woman
that's
with a
true. Somebody running up the views on the
Yeah,
BBBBBW.
most definitely. I
yep.
actually just seen a woman on TikTok, and she has to be about 300 pounds. It's proportioned well, but that girl be on a pole. She be doing stuff like she probably 130 pounds,
Mm.
but she cracking on TikTok. I'm talking about really cracking. So
Somebody will smash. You better
yeah,
Well,
believe.
that's a mixture of things, right? That's a mixture of somebody being entertained. So, you know, saying the same way we could, like they say, people like to watch train wrecks. You know what I'm saying? People like to see terrible stuff happen because it entertains them and they laugh at it. And some people like to see it because it's a confidence builder for them because they in the same category. You know,
right,
then you got your guys who just like big women. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
right. That
So, you
makes
know,
sense.
yeah, so you got a lot of people who view for different reasons. So, you
Love
know,
Christie said you can't proportion 300 pounds.
No, she is very proportioned.
you actually
Serious.
can. I've
You
seen it.
can. Yes,
I would
she
agree.
is.
You can proportion three.
Yes, you can.
You can be put together and be 300. I
Absolutely.
can't lie. You can.
Yeah, I've seen it. So, I mean, it's possible. Anything is possible. You know what I'm saying? So, but not everybody is, you know what I'm saying, capable of that. So,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
feeling,
Just so you know, here on the 5 session, we don't watch BBBBBWs like that. We straight though. We ain't mad at y'all, but we don't want to see y'all in no thongs. I'm just saying.
No.
hey, I'm an advocate for doing what you do, doing what makes you feel comfortable.
Right.
I don't have to love
Absolutely.
it. I don't have to love it, and I don't want to see it, so I won't see it. But
There you go.
you do what
Facts.
you do. You do what you love to do. And as long as you tune into the 5 session, we're gonna show you that
That
love.
part.
Yes, we're gonna show you some love. We're gonna. You know what? We might need to get a 300-pound life girl. What 600-pound life girl on the show, Ken?
Hey, you know what I'm saying? We'll have anybody on. You know what I'm saying? If you want to talk and they want to talk and they got an interesting story, hey, we'll have them on the show. Love
Got
Christie
it.
said, I don't know who is giving it to Boosie. Listen,
Oh, I'm giving it to Boosie, baby.
listen.
I'm
See,
giving it to
she flowing
Boosie.
with Boosie. She like that white stuff accumulating in
Woo!
the corner of
No.
his mouth.
Boosie's IG is full of women. Like when he goes live, like it's full of women throwing themselves at him for one reason or another. They love him. So
I
it's
do.
plenty of women out there that's willing to do it.
Yes. Hallelujah.
Listen, look at Nikita. Got her hands up. She done lifted her
Hallelujah.
hands, Ken.
I see. That's a fact.
She likes ugly brothers, so it's official.
Yes.
Somebody gotta love them. Somebody gotta love 'em. All right. Charlie Jewell said the disrespect, not feeling appreciated, jealousy, envious, it happens. The person you sleeping with could be your biggest downfall, generally speaking.
That's very true.
That's
That's
tough.
very true.
Mm.
Being your biggest downfall in terms of like you love them enough to actually overlook all the stuff that is detrimental to you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get to that space, I mean, you could be in trouble. Like you'll find yourself like losing yourself. So you got to be careful with that one. So
Yeah.
I totally agree with that one.
Yeah, I equate that to if you was out there and floating in the ocean and you steady attaching weights to your belt.
Mm.
Because
You're going to
eventually
sink. You're going to sink. Eventually you'll sink.
Yeah, eventually you're gonna sink from all that stuff that you're attaching to yourself because man, you can't keep allowing people, you know, we keep giving people chances to hurt us. That's what happens. Like people do stuff and we say, well, okay, they didn't mean it. Now you gotta go ahead and chalk that up and say, you know what, make that list. Yep, that's one.
Mm-hmm.
That's two. All right, this is the third time you gotta go. You gotta go. We've given you ample opportunity to show me something different and you keep showing me the same thing. So it is what it is. You got to go.
I'm Mr. 1-2. You get one shot and then you skating on thin ice with number 2. So sorry.
And Lanika Fearless Brewster said no progression. That's a big one. It's very simple. No progression. People stay in stagnant relationships. Like it just starts one way, and that's the way it is for the duration of the relationship. It's not going anywhere. So it's just like you sitting in the car with your radio on, but you ain't never put the car in drive. You just chilling. Chilling. So
and then thinking that it's going somewhere because after 20 years he finally proposed. That's still not progression to me because it took too long.
That's a long time, 20 years.
That car old by now.
Yeah, you know.
he done messed up the engine in that thing already.
Yeah.
Yeah, you done let him blow your engine up and run your transmission into the ground. By the time you get ready to go to the next spot, you can't even get out of park.
And I wanted to say that because unfortunately, women think that that's progression because he finally proposed. Girl, how long has it been? That's not progression.
I mean,
no, it's not progression.
It's progression to her because that's what she's desired all this time.
I think that actually walking down the aisle is progression after 20 years.
I mean, after 20 years, I mean, anything you do in terms of locking it up.
I get it, but sticky.
That's and you know what? This is similar to Jim Jones and Chrissy's situation where you know she just got to a point. I saw an article where it says she just got to a point where she just gave up. She don't care if she can get married now because they've been together for almost 20 years and they ain't got married yet. So she's okay with being in that position. But at this point, do you want to get married? Because I always say that's one of them situations that's called a might as well marriage. You know what I'm saying? Might as well.
Yeah, might as well. We done been in these for 20 years.
You know, you've been there that long. So I mean, y'all been through ups and downs, been through everything, and had kids, this, that, and the other. Might as well, because you don't want to leave this earth and be on the obituary as a special friend.
The special friend, huh?
Special friend.
We all know what that is, the special friend.
Right.
Oh, I just seen some obituary. They don't put special friend no more. They just put the person's name and then they put the kid's name. They don't put when they got married, the spouse, or none of that. They just put the name and then they put the kid's name after that. You know, these people got crafty with the writing and creative. So, you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to the people at the funeral home and the people who make them obituaries because I see y'all clowning.
Hey, they gotta have a sense of humor with the obituaries at the funeral. Huh?
Hey, I'm an avid reader, so I'm my context clues are amazing. So I read between the lines literally. Yeah. So, but like I said, man, that's just one of them things, man. When it takes that long, like for me, people always, talk about when do you know that this person's right for you, or when do it's time to get married? It don't take no 20 years, man.
Right.
No, it don't.
It-
Actually, I will say for a guy, within the first 30 days.
Oh, damn.
I don't agree, but go ahead, Benji. Talk to
Oh,
us about that
Oh,
30.
okay.
I'm like, what?
Come on, Ken. We gotta talk about this. When would you say? Because I think within a month's time. You know what I'm saying? 30 days. If y'all kicking it together. If y'all really kicking it together. If it's on and off and y'all ain't really, I'm talking about like kind of close in 30 days. Not like y'all distant in 30 days, but y'all really, really, really spending time. What would you say though? Give me your number, Ken. Give me your number.
To me, I'm thinking I always, my rule of thumb is always 6 months. Six
Okay.
months, what I'm saying, of dating and being around each other and things like that, because you're talking about marriage, you're talking about a commitment. We're not trying to get in this thing and try it out and then be like, all right, that didn't work, bounce. Like we're getting married with the intent of staying here for the duration. So if that's the aim and that's the reason why you should be getting married, to stay the duration, then it shouldn't be a short courting. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
God.
I know people
Well,
always say,
the reason I
I,
say that, Ken, is because and Love Christie pointed it out as well. Her grandparents, she said they married within 3 weeks, and they've been
ooh,
married for a long time, right?
uh-uh. We her grandparents, that was way back then.
Way, way, way long time ago,
back
right?
at the time.
Yeah, that's not happening now. I'm telling you, if you get married to somebody within 3 weeks now, you're setting yourself up for certain failure. You're
Right.
Facts.
if you succeed, then you're in that top probably 1 or 2% of people.
Marriages that
Mm-hmm.
worked, right?
Anybody that was in a relationship like from the 80s and 70s and before that, that's a different day and time.
Different era, right?
90s forward, especially in the internet age.
Less
Yes. And
drama,
that's what I was going to say.
less money
Yes.
issues, less internet, less
Yeah.
access to you. Totally
Less,
Yes.
different era.
less folks in your business.
Yeah.
Less folks in your business. So, what I'm
Yeah.
saying, that's a big difference, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because back in the day, like people were getting married like that, and people were getting married right, like really young. Like I think my grandparents got married when they were both 16. So
Mm.
like that was regular. Like nowadays, you ain't letting no 16-year-old get married. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
I don't even want my kids get married when they 26. You know what
Right.
Very true.
Yes.
I'm saying? So I'm definitely not letting a 16-year-old get married. So the
My
time
oldest, my oldest is 25, and I wish she would come telling me she get married. What?
I've told mine. My thing
No.
is, I would like to see them at least get to close to 30 before they start
Yes.
doing that. Live life a little bit, travel, experience some things. You know what I'm saying? Get to know who you are yourself as an
Right.
adult.
Yes.
You jump into a relationship with somebody else because maybe you're not ready yet. Maybe you love that person, but maybe you're not ready as an individual. So you have to spend time with yourself and get to know who you are before you jump in
Yes.
a relationship. Because I'm gonna tell you straight up, I got married when I was 21 years old, right?
Mm.
Right.
So I didn't understand, I knew what my grandparents had, what my parents had. My parents got married at, I think 20, and I think my mom was like 18, 19, my dad was 20. So they got married really early as well. So for me, that's what I saw. So I in my mind, it was okay. But I didn't understand, like it was things that I
Yes.
still didn't even know about myself that I
Mm-hmm.
had to learn. And basically we grew together. And
Right.
Right.
that's a rare case where you have two individuals that can grow together and still stay together, because what happens is when you're in a marriage, when you're in a relationship over time, you change as people,
Right.
Yes.
change as individuals. And sometimes people do go their separate ways because the person that I'm turning into, you may not like. The person
Mm-hmm.
they're turning into, that may not be who I married. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that happens. So when you see people get divorced, like I don't look down on it and say, oh, they got divorced and, say this, that, and the third about them. because sometimes people change, man. People change,
Very true.
sure,
Right.
especially when you're dating and you're in a relationship very young, right? So give
Yeah.
yourself an opportunity and give yourself, some time to get to know yourself
Yeah.
before you jump into a relationship. That's my advice.
I
Yes.
would agree.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Samantha Allen says we need to have a serious disagreement. Do y'all agree with that? Yeah, do y'all really? What if your relationship ain't full of drama like that? Do you
Right.
need to have a disagreement? Like what's
No.
going on? Like you gotta have a disagreement. Do I have to see all of the negative sides of you? Why would you want to bring that out of me?
Right. Yeah. No, I don't agree.
I kind of don't agree with that because I don't think the person that I'm with should bring out the bad in
The
me,
worst in you.
the
Yes.
worst in me. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you need to see me mad. What you
Oh,
need to see me mad for? I'm not trying to be mad at you. What's going on?
hi you guys.
You got the
Hello.
Hey.
forehead out tonight. Hi, girl. How you doing?
Hi everybody. Good
How's
evening.
it?
Hi.
How's it going?
It's good. A long day. Just found out my son is Mr. COVID in my house right now.
Oh
Oh Lord.
no.
Right.
Wow.
Oh
Oh.
Lord.
Look at her by his eye.
Mhm.
For
But
sure. We just
he's
having we just round table discussing. We haven't hit the topic yet. We're
okay.
just going through the questions that people had in the comments, and so we talking about that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
So
nice
I'm
to meet you, beautiful.
hi, nice to meet you
Hi.
too. I'm excited for this topic.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's been interesting so far. Everybody's been active in the comments. So, okay, so Samantha Allen is coming back with a clarification. She said, "I'm
Okay.
not saying we need to break windows, but we do need to see how we navigate our issues serious because you can be different, at that point in time." And I'll say this: that's another thing too. You're not really gonna know who that person is until you have a disagreement, which she is 100% facts on that,
Okay.
right? Because when you have your first disagreement, how that person reacts and the level of maturity that that person shows will tell you a lot about them, right?
Right.
Because if you can have the great relationship and y'all been, that's why I said 3 weeks. 3 weeks is not long because in 3 weeks, I ain't gonna lie to you, you still seeing, who I want to show you. You know what I'm saying? But after a while, that comes down because you get relaxed over time and you just be who you are naturally.
Right.
And
Right.
Right.
that's the person that, what I'm saying, that is gonna be there for the duration. So when y'all have an argument and she starts throwing things, it's like,
She's
See, let
Yeah.
me
always
Like,
say
be
hold
throwing
this.
on.
stuff.
Don't you be throwing skillets at me, girl.
If she
Like, hold
throwing
Right.
on.
stuff,
See,
she
I
gotta
think
go.
that argument, using the word argument, changed the dynamics because you just made a valid point. It shows the maturity. And I don't think that because we're having a discussion, it has to always be an argument. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have
Right.
to always be, heated or anything like that. So I think that for me, that's the main key. I don't want to argue with you. I'm not arguing. I don't argue. If
Mhm.
we cannot have a communicate on a mature level, then that's going to show me who you are. So I think that that word changed the whole dynamic of, what we saying.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
arguing
agree.
is different.
I agree. Because two grown people should be able to have a cordial
Right.
conversation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I
Agree.
agree. I agree. You say when you say argument, the connotation of that word is just
Absolutely.
it's negative because
A lot of
people gotta understand
Hmm.
you're never gonna totally agree with
mm-mm.
anybody, right?
Right.
There's gonna be some times where like in my marriage where my wife says she wants to do this and I'm like, I'm really not totally on board with that. But there's gonna be some times where you have to say, you know what, we'll go ahead and rock with it this time, and then next time we'll go with, the way I want to do it.
Mhm.
We'll
Right.
try it out because you know what I'm saying, not everything is gonna be up to you. Not everything is gonna be up to her. You're gonna have to
Right.
have some compromise. So
Right.
Exactly.
Agreed.
so
Yeah.
it's not always an argument, you know what I'm saying? It's not always a conflict. It's just, a conversation. You don't agree, and you have to learn how to navigate that area, that space of, when you don't agree.
Right.
What
See,
do
I
you
I
think?
grew
agree.
up in a I grew up in the 70s and the 80s, and they say it's not what you say, it's how you say it, and it's not what you do, it's how you do it. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, you should be able, as two mature people, be able to say, like you just said, "Now this is not working," without it being aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I agree.
I agree. That's a nice way to handle things versus things getting out of line. Someone who y'all was talking about throwing stuff earlier, like what?
Yeah, because some of these sisters be throwing hot grits and boiling hot water on brothers. You know what I'm saying? You ain't trying to live that life.
Right.
Yeah,
You
we're
know
not
what?
doing that.
You know what's crazy though? That's become a thing of, that's a product of, I think, this newer generation of, there was women and men who did that type of stuff, but now as far as the ladies goes, it's especially accepted because it's, girl, that's my toxic trait. I get crazy and it's supposed to be acceptable because they see, people on the internet and people on these reality shows and them acting out like that. And they, you know what I'm saying, people
I
applaud
think
it.
it's cool.
Yeah.
Right.
So they get crazy. And I told my sons countless times, if you're in a relationship with any young lady and she starts acting crazy and she puts her hands on you, the first thing you need to do is turn into a track star.
Goodbye.
Yes. And get ghosts.
Get out.
Don't look back. Do not.
Right.
The old heads used to teach us, if I gotta hit you, I don't need you.
Mm-hmm.
Get on and get out of there.
As simple as that.
ASAP.
If I gotta go through all of that, I don't need you. I can live without that.
Come on,
and I heard an interesting stat today that 70% of domestic violence cases are instigated by women.
Oh,
So that was interesting to me, that it's instigated. Of course, then the man becomes the aggressor, but it was instigated by her. So that tells me, brothers, like, know when to say peace instantly when you're dealing with that. So,
yeah. You have a lot of ladies that provoke men, and we talk about that as well, where women, they provoke men and they grew up with brothers and things like that. And a lot of these women will put their hands on a guy, you know what I'm saying, out of anger. Like, I tell any woman I know, and I tell my daughter this, she's 11 years old, don't put your hands on none of them young men.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because if they hit you back, they well within their right.
Right.
So,
yeah. If I could say this really quick, I had a situation like that, and it got really ugly because I was the aggressor. And at that point, I had to stop my family from tripping on him because I had to take full accountability that it was my fault. And I put myself, and I know that a lot of men and people don't agree with that, but I understood. I put myself in this position, and when he knocked fire from my ass, that's, and I don't condone abuse, but women need to understand that, you can put yourself in a situation to where, no, you don't need to call your brothers now because you hit him like he was a man.
And he's defending himself.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day. So,
right.
Yeah. No, don't be calling your brothers, because I done seen instant where a chick called her brother and he came over and got whooped too.
He got whooped too.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to say this on live, but you send your brother my way, he ain't getting no hands.
Why do you say he goes? I don't want to say this on live, and it says it on live.
Yes. If I gotta hit you, I don't need you.
The thing is, even as the aggressor, you should tell yourself, if a person has gotten you outside of your zone to where you want to hit somebody, then you need to leave too. It isn't just the person that's getting hit on.
Right.
But if this person is making you that mad, that bothered, that physical, you need to go.
Yes.
Self-control can totally be a deal breaker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, like we said on the previous episode, you got to protect your peace. That's part of protecting your peace. Not letting somebody get you to that.
You're not gonna make me.
Right.
I'm just kidding. I don't do that anyway. But
Patricia, we know you laying hands on people. We know.
I'm not. I am not. I am not a physical. I'm at all. Like, I will not. If you get me there, I'm not even throwing stuff. I'm not. If you get me to where I even want to call you out your name or something, you gotta go.
Right.
I can agree.
You gotta go.
Yeah, that's a good.
I was taught walk away, leave that scene, come back later and try to rectify it.
Yes.
But never meet. You can never meet a person here and you here also.
Yeah.
Always keep yourself below that. And if if that person you can't, bring themselves down, then you just need to dip. It's time for you.
I think for me is I've been the aggressor before. Not putting my hands on nobody, but at a younger age.
You punching people in the throat. Okay, was it a throat punch or was it an eye punch?
No, we won't get into details. It was none of that. But I have been just a little angry person, and so this is when I was younger. You be mad. You find out later. You grow up. You're mad about your own personal problems and where you at in life. So you was just this angry little person for no reason. So then when you grow and you evolve, and as a person, and these traits that you no longer, you don't let nobody bring this out of you anymore. So that's why I'm like, if you get me to where I can feel in my bones that you gonna make me so mad, you gotta go.
Right.
Yeah.
So that self-control, I know some of y'all in this era, y'all like that toxic stuff and y'all think that that's love and all of that type of stuff. Listen, man, it's not the business. We're getting too many brothers put in jail, getting felonies.
Right.
And the rule in Cali is if the police is called, they come out, somebody's going.
Somebody's going, yeah.
And you gonna get somebody a case.
Yeah.
All because you couldn't control. Now you done messed up. Brother can't get no job, all that. So fellas, if you're in those predicaments, it's time to run. Get like Joseph when Potiphar's wife tried to holler.
Fellas. It's just anybody if you're in that.
Right.
It could go, but it could go both ways. We all know.
It
could be both ways.
It can.
This is regardless if you in that situation, go.
But we all know the brother getting hemmed up by the police first. So
right. Let me make this clear for my platform for anybody who's gonna watch. I did that when I was in my 20s, but you do grow. People mature and get wiser, but I can most definitely be honest for my part and say, yeah, most definitely I was the aggressor in many times. But you can grow from it.
You can, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, same hot-headed 20s. Only to find out that I was just mad at my own circumstances in life, and I wasn't where the next person was, so I was a little low-key hater and just mad, which ain't good. And you come back and you look on it like, dang, I was the aggressor. Dang, I was wrong. Dang, I messed that one up. Dang, it was me. So, but accountability is key in the growth. Yeah. So,
I don't like arguing at all. I don't argue with anybody. Like if we don't agree, then I'll be, sometimes people say it's dismissive, and I don't try to be dismissive, but I'm just like, oh, okay, I bet. No,
actually, sometimes, fam, that's good.
Right.
Because
sometimes,
you know you, and I'm the same way. Like I would rather just be like, all right, man, like I'm.
But okay, so here's my thing. That is fine, but is anything really resolved just because you said I bet?
Well, it just depends on how. If it's making me heated at the moment, I'm gonna let you have it, and then like you said, later on, cooler heads prevail. We'll come back, and then I'll say, okay. Now that situations calm down, let's revisit this subject. Now that we're calm and we can talk through it, because at that moment, if it's heated, I'm not gonna indulge that.
I ain't trying to. Right.
Yeah, no, and that's one thing I always I tell or I'll give advice to like friends, and one thing that I navigate is stepping away. Like you are due your time. Can't nobody demand it right now just because you mad and you want this and you give me a minute. Like you said, okay, all right. That's my favorite line. I'll be like, okay, you got it for now. You got it. We can talk later because we're gonna talk. We're not about to be Yeah. Mm-mm.
But if you're dealing with a person who dislikes you and got issues with you at this moment, because all that toxic stuff, even if you go back to the situation and try to revisit, they still ain't trying to hear what you got to say. So sometimes it's just best to leave certain, but you got to recognize this though. This comes from knowing your partner, knowing the person you with, knowing who you in a relationship with, knowing who you're dealing with, because sometimes they just ain't trying to hear you, man, at all. You can be right, and some people hate being wrong.
Do you want to be in a relationship like that though? Where's the substance if you can't even communicate with that
but
person?
sadly enough, people are in relationships like these. I know several.
And see that goes back to what you were saying earlier, though, Benji. When I was telling you the 3 weeks is not enough,
right?
Because like you're not gonna see all of these things in 3 weeks, right?
What's the 3 weeks?
Okay, so Benji mentioned earlier that a lot of that it could be as soon as 3 weeks when a guy knows he wants to marry a woman or when
be with the girl.
Yeah,
be with her. Like you can know within a month. Like whether you want to be that, but that comes from y'all actually spending a lot of time together, not like y'all casual on and off.
Okay, well go ahead, Ken. Hold on.
I just think in that sense, like again, that's that 1-2%. Like that's 1-2%. Like it can happen, but the likelihood of that happen is not high, and it's not high success rate from people that are together that short a period of time. And then actually staying together. And if they do stay together, they're going to go through some different stages that are going to be tough.
Yes.
Right. Because that growth is tough. You know what I'm saying? So, imagine how tough it is to go through things in life as an individual, but now you complicated it because now you're still growing as an individual, leaps and bounds, especially when you're early in your early like 20s. And then you got this other person who's growing too. Y'all might be growing 2 different directions. You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
That's so
But that's why people don't do enough dating before they just jump into something, because I do believe the dating phase needs to be extended, regardless of even if you know what, she's it. But you really, like you said, 3 weeks ain't enough, 4 weeks ain't enough. There's gonna be situations in life and things that are I'm not saying date for years. I'm not saying that, or a year or whatever, but I'm saying date enough to know, like you said, go through somebody getting mad at something. Like go through those things and see, because you date this person and you like, oh, she fine. She 3-4 weeks. I know she mine. I want her. And down the line, she go back crazy in the corner, and that's how she deal with stuff. Like,
that's what I was saying. I think at minimum it should be 6 months. At 6 minimum, months.
I agree.
Well, I agree. I'm under the impression you continue to date.
Well, yes.
Like if you found somebody you like, right, and y'all like each other, continue to date. You should never stop dating, if you ask me.
But that's a difference.
If y'all are really into each other, you keep dating throughout the course of the relationship, no matter when it is, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, whatever.
Yes, but there's a portion of that you should make sure that this is somebody you want to continue to keep dating. Like you gotta make sure that this person is what you want to even pursue the continuous dating. Because you want to get in a relationship and continue to learn and continue to date and continue to do these things with that person. Yes, but are you the person I want to do that with?
Right.
So you gotta still do that.
So when would you say this? Give us your timeline, Patricia. When would you say you may know or have an idea?
I agree with 6 months at least. For sure.
6 months.
Because Nikita? You give time for things to happen.
I'm horrible because I think it should be like 2 years.
But I'm not opposed to a year or more. Yeah. So like right now, I'm not in a relationship and we are dating. We are at 10 months. Yeah, 10, 11 months. But we just making sure real quick.
Right. Yeah.
And I've known him for 16 years, but I don't know dating you.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay, that makes sense.
But this is a revelation, on the show. Patricia.
Yes, it's a revelation. Did she just notice? Did she just say that?
Yeah. Okay.
Good job, Patricia. Good job.
All right. Cheers. All right. So let's get back to this last setup.
6 months though. 6 months. 6 months.
Yeah.
Everybody. Well, Nikita said 2 years. So.
No, but I think 2 years is good.
We just make sure he not watching because he ain't got 2 years.
6 months. Okay, let's say this. 6 months is like the minimum, but saying the 2 years, Ryan, when you're around that 2 year mark, like you should know, like you are getting ready to be married or be in an extended relationship, like y'all should know solid foundation by that
no
time.
doubt about it. Yeah.
And the reason why I say 2 years is because when you are actually really busy in life, you ain't got time to really be dating all the time, you know? And so I might see you once a month, twice a month, or whatever. Life goes quick.
No.
Well, hold on.
Hold on.
I
Once a month.
I think if you're that busy, you're not ready for
You shouldn't
a real
be in no relationship.
Yeah.
You can tell me I only clap once a month. Oh no.
Well, I am the one earlier in the video, the live said that I don't even want to get married. So, don't take what I say serious.
Very true. But hold on. Once a month, twice a month. So that means maybe at best you done had sex once a month.
I was about to say, wait.
No, he didn't have sex. Look, he didn't have sex probably once or twice if he waiting.
So what about you?
Yeah, he definitely got him a couple side shenanigans going on.
Look, I'm gonna always do me. No, I'm just let me
City Girls up 1,000.
Wow.
Oh, man.
And listen, that doesn't mean that it has to be another body. It could just be my body.
Well, amen. Well, praise God.
Hallelujah.
Was
that too much? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just.
Does that count on your body count? You yourself?
No.
If that is.
No, it don't.
If that
don't know. Okay.
That rose used like a mug, ain't it?
I'm just saying. So, anyways, let me stop.
It'd be so funny because can't be like.
Yeah, because I mean, you know what? If you counting self-love, as we call it, self-love, people done ran their numbers way up. You know,
way up.
People be having self-love.
She got about that little toy done been used to death, boy. I tell you,
man. That button has been overused.
Right.
Time for
is that a deal? Look at men. Is that a deal breaker? Do y'all think that should be a deal breaker for men?
What?
I think to each its own. Because I have a friend that will be pissed off if her dude does that, and I have a friend.
What? No toys?
No, no. I mean, like his personal, like porn and that self-care, self-love. She will be pissed off, and then I have people that don't care. So it's just personal preference.
Listen, this is my thing on the toys, ladies. Okay, I understand, but you gotta understand, you making your man compete with the what I don't even know what these things is called nowadays. You're making your man compete with a machine.
That is the word out on the streets. Yes.
If you can't listen, if you can't detox from it, it's gonna be a problem because the sensation is totally different. Like you're used to getting sensation from something that goes 500 beats per minute, and I can only give you a stroke. You know what I'm saying? You know,
you better learn how to jackrabbit.
It's an issue.
You better learn how to jackrabbit.
Well,
I mean,
I'm just kidding.
And that was actually one of my deal breakers.
Now, I'm not telling you to get rid of them because there's some things you can do with them things. All right.
Yeah.
There's some wonderful things you can do. But somebody gonna end up being sexually frustrated because the toy is gonna always outlast that brother. I can guarantee you that.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. There's some things that toy can't do. So if you have a woman and she likes toys, you can find a way to incorporate those toys into what you do.
You
certain
can.
things that toys just can't. If you're looking for a reference, there's a song by Raheem Devine called Bob, and he talks about what that toy can't do. So there's things that toy can't do. So you can work together as a team, but I think in a relationship, especially in an extended relationship, and toys come into play, like it's gonna have to change. Like you're not gonna use the same toy every time. You're not gonna be going back and forth. You gotta kind of change things up, and especially if you meet a woman who is mature and who's in her 30s or 40s, by now she's probably used a toy. You meet a chick in her 20s, sometimes some of them chicks ain't used no toy yet, so they don't know that. By the time they in their 30s, 35, and they ain't married yet, they didn't had a toy or two. So that you might have to, you know what I'm saying, incorporate that. So
it's a Christy said a toy can't tie you up.
I'm just saying,
a toy can't lift.
I mean, listen, you can always improvise. Understand this, but if you using that thing every day, all the time, it's gonna be a problem.
She ain't got no job if she
right. Most definitely that. Yeah, yes. He couldn't be busy. Yeah.
Anything like that too much of anything is a bad thing in this
always.
One word.
Right.
You're going to become desensitized, and then your experiences moving forward are going to be lackluster because you're never going to be able to replicate that high, right? It's kind of like when you have a crackhead, the crackhead smoke crack the first time, they spend the rest of their day the same high they had the first time.
Right.
Have it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing else that can replicate that. So, you know, when you're using the machines and the toys, it's a, you know, it could be a dangerous game.
So it is.
Choose wisely.
I agree.
Choose wisely. So Chavez Robinson says,
so is it a
lips are gonna look like roast beef. Hey,
shout out to my boy Chavez. Shout out my boy Chavez. What's going on, my man? Mr. Chef, Mr. Cook, Mr. Do It All. Yeah, Arby's is in the house. We have the meats.
Yeah, they got meats. All right. So, you know, let's not do Arby's like that because Arby's might
Arby's might want to give us a deal. So Arby's, we sorry. All right. We still love y'all. Y'all might want to send curly fries to every show. I don't know.
That's a fact.
Okay, so Nikita, is it a deal? Well, Ken, is it a deal breaker if a woman use toys all the time?
If that's what she wants and you love that woman, you'll figure out a way to make it work.
Okay, so Patricia, your guy is saying don't use toys. Is that a problem?
No, I don't care about toys.
I like you, girl. Nikita?
No, it's not a deal breaker as long as he can bring that pipe.
Right.
There you go.
Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, you know, because one of my deal breakers is a man who don't last long in bed. So if he can, anyways.
That's a deal breaker for sure. I'm sorry.
Deal breaker.
I mean, well, lift your hands. Okay. If you can't last. Fellas, if you can't last, hold on. We talked about this. Do not go get them gas station pills. Don't do it.
Oh, I wasn't on that show, but I did see the.
Stay away.
Yes. Don't go get the gas station pills, okay? We already get you some maca roots, some sea moss, get you some horny goat, get you some sea moss, eat some spinach, lay off the pork, lay off the beef, drink more water, go to the gym, get your gut together, all of that, hook yourself up.
Get you somebody else to do it because I can't.
Well, there it is. Let's hop back in the last stretch of these comments from Facebook. The deal breaker for Dee Barnes can't effectively communicate. CC Armstrong, when you irritated my soul just looking at you.
Damn.
Oh, dang.
CC, you need to go.
That's deep. When I've lost,
you should have been gone.
You should have been gone. You got it.
Yeah, you should have been gone.
Past your limit, CC.
And the last one is when I've lost all respect for you, and I think that's
huge.
A lot too.
Yes,
that's huge. It's time to go. Because you start that's the throwing stuff stage. That's when you throwing stuff at folks.
You become disgusted with the look. Like you become disgusted with looking at somebody, and you just irritated and don't respect them. Why are you there?
Right.
Why are you there?
Because they can't go nowhere. Their credit score probably bad, so they can't go nowhere.
Then they better live out the car because that's more peaceful than that.
Right.
You gonna kick the brother out the house.
Yeah.
You can't if you don't love him.
If you don't respect him, no more. Mama, daddy, grandma, auntie, uncle, brother, sister, somebody somewhere. Yes. You got somebody. Or there's the shelter, but I'm not the shelter.
Yeah, hey, brothers, y'all better get out of there because I done seen some videos on social media where these ladies then took that man PS5 and threw it in the bathtub and all kinds of crazy stuff.
God.
Like when these situations getting to that point, it might be advantageous to you, like Trisha Michelle said, get up out of there, dog. Go back
out of there, man.
The signs of those type of individuals are always there. Like I was talking to somebody before, and he raised his voice one good time that told me to shut the real loud. And I was like, and in my mind, in that moment, that was
you was about to go. You was about to go Tina Turner on Ike in the limo.
No, I was quiet because you're done.
Right.
I'm not an aggressive individual when I communicate. We could talk, we could discuss, we could debate, we could disagree. But you don't ever in your life have to talk to me crazy like that. So just because you can and you did, and I'm not even turned up.
That type of person, right.
Means that you'll go beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
So
ain't no need to take off that boot, man. Put that boot away and get out of the car. Because I'm telling you, that's one of the movies. That's, I think, probably the first movie where I really seen instances of just violence like that in a relationship, and the person was just there. And that opened my eyes as a young person to, you know, situations that adults were dealing with. Because, you know, when that movie came out, we were still young. You know what I'm saying? We saw what happened, but we saw them stay together too. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people saw that in their real life, saw relationships people were like that, and they stayed together. You know what I'm saying? Your grandparents, they fight all the time. They stay together. They might live in separate rooms and all this kind of stuff, but they stay together. So that's what's ingrained in us. We should stay together because that's what our grandparents did. No, man.
I ain't trying to do that. Now, I will say this. Two crazy people kind of see that as normal behavior.
That's Krishan and
I was gonna say,
because they
both face or something.
That's the new Ike and Tina.
But you know what? If you again, we're talking about broken people coming into relationships. Both of those individuals were two broken individuals together, and now they have what we call a trauma bond. Traumatic experiences, and now they're bonding based on the traumatic experiences that they've both experienced separately and they've experienced together.
And so now they feel this devotion.
Yes.
And this is my savior on both sides. To where they will go through and deal with anything.
So we can relate, right?
And
you know, it's like we relate to the trauma, you know, and it brings you into a relationship, because relate means to come into a relationship. And so they feel like, well, we just
nobody else gets them but them. And it's like
right.
All right, Christy Elwell said, I would never break something I can momentarily gain from.
That's what I'm talking about.
What's up, Taurus? What's up, Christy?
Like, you shouldn't break the PS5 if you're going to do anything. Just go pawn it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that way, at least you get some gain from it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm not even going to do that. Like,
I'm just saying.
And go.
Yeah. That's the admirable thing to do, because
but if you leave it
might not make it.
It's mine now, because I'm gonna play the PlayStation, and then every day.
So you're gonna play the PlayStation,
and I'm gonna sell whatever else I need to sell. Like, because you can come get your stuff. You got one time. You're not gonna get your stuff and go. But you leaving stuff.
You got
here,
one time with me,
because
and that's it. One time.
And my eyes, it's like seeing my kids' toys on the floor when they was younger and not picking it up and not cleaning up. It became trash because you don't want this toy. Go put it away. Right. You didn't put it away. You don't want it. You don't want this stuff. It's still here. So it's trash or mine.
Okay. Chrissy Levi says, don't talk to me crazy, period. To me, that means you will beat.
And that's why he had to go.
Yeah, I think that's a precursor to that type of
activity. I would say so. I would say so as well.
If they barking on you like DMX, they gonna bite just like a dog. The dog is barking, and soon he gonna bite. So
that's facts.
And you get no chances, because it's just the gateway. You gonna do this, and then the next time you gonna do this. And just like women or men with disrespectful words, like you might call me stupid, next I'm a bitch, and next I'm this, and next I'm that, and it's like, we're not gonna do that. We're not.
Right.
The disrespect keeps escalating. You gotta get out of there.
The old saying is if you give a person an inch, they'll take a mile, and we all know that to be true.
Yeah.
All right, Love Christie. I'm working for Ike Turner.
She said he went off on her.
What'd you do? I want to know what you did.
Yeah, but
Well,
it don't even,
knowing Love Christie, Lord have
like
mercy.
this
She probably
story.
was talking to him crazy too.
you know what? It don't even matter because we know Ike Turner to be that type of guy, and that's
Turned
what
it up.
and that's what happens though. We in relationship with people, and we know exactly who they are. We know
And
exactly.
see,
who,
Tina
and we,
Turner wasn't necessarily wild when he first met her. He turned her out.
But see, that's the thing. If people could bring out things and you feel like this person
Right.
is making me this mad, like if they're that person is not for you.
I'm gonna
Right.
tell you a situation like that you brought that up, and we've been talking about Ike and Tina. That was weird for me, and I watched it over the past couple of days on different stuff. Was Bobby Brown and Whitney? How Whitney was, one way, and even if it was her public persona, and then the person she turned into because she got with this person.
Mhm.
This person's things that he enjoyed now became things she enjoyed. So I don't know what their day-to-day life was like, but I know what we started to see play out publicly and in front of the camera was ugly, and it ended terribly. You know what I'm saying? So those are the type of things where you gotta look at it and say, okay, what, I love this person, but I love them enough to leave them alone because they're toxic for me
Right.
and toxic for the whole situation. So I gotta move on.
Some people just don't match.
That disrespect can get very loud.
And also realizing, because you just made a point, like Bobby Brown kind of, I mean, from I guess perspective on how you look at it, he could have changed her, she could have changed him. Realizing that when you are in relation with people, you know how they say you start to look like the people that you've been with for years.
Yeah.
That's not only physically, that's going to be characterized, that's going to be values, that's going to be morals, and looking at people like, do I really want to be like you? Because eventually you're going to rub off on me or I'm going to rub off on you. And normally when you're the gooder person, you don't rub off on that toxic person. That toxic person rub off on you.
But my thing is, a lot of people get in those relationships too. I could change him. Or I
could
change her. Stop trying to change people, because these people, if they wanted to change, they would have changed on their own. Anything you think you're going to do, they're going to either temporarily change or never become that. So don't waste your time.
I agree.
That's a fact. Okay.
Shout out to my guy Chavez. He says, as men, we got to work on ourselves and be gentle with our women. On the contrary, our women have to be willing to embrace our soft masculinity, all while not taking our kindness for weakness. We can coexist civilly without the aggressive tone shit and ugly language. I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree. But to me, that comes from two people genuinely liking each other, because that comes with respect, love, care, all of that. If I don't necessarily like you and I'm just in it for whatever the benefit that I can get out of it from you, then eventually that shows up as well, because then your lack of care, your lack of respect, your all of those negative things start to come out. I don't believe a person that I'm in a relationship should bring the negativity out of me. You should be bringing everything that's positive out of me. And so I just, if I'm a meek, chill, cool, laid back kind of dude, why would you want to see me riled up and coming at you like I'm some bull that just seen, the red, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I agree with Chavez on that. Women got to accept that as well and not consider it so much as a weakness.
Can I piggyback real quick off of that? What you said, the bull and all, since I am a bull, I'm a Taurus. Let me say this. Let me say this. I've changed so much that recently I was in something, that I had with an ex that I hadn't been with in like 24 years, and end up getting back with this person. And I genuinely thought if he does some things, it's going to bring out that old Nikita. And I was surprisingly surprised that when you're mature and when you're changed and when you're really meek and when you're really a peaceful person, people really can't bring out the worst in you. It take a whole lot to bring out the worst in you. And he did some stuff, but it didn't bring out the worst in me. It made me cut my ties because it was a deal breaker for me.
Right.
So, I have a similar story.
I mean, knowing yourself, I think that makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
speaking on the soft masculine, I agree with your friend, but I think the issue is not only respect, like you said, and actually really liking that person, but I think another thing for women is you have to actually believe in the fact that men can tap into their soft masculinity and be, you know, caring and emotional, and allow those things to exist so that you can tap into a different side of actually knowing your man, because you want to care about him, but you don't want him, you consider him weak if he's soft or soft hearted, soft spoken, or anything like that, or you're gonna walk over him too. So I think women need to evolve into allowing the men to have those moments, those vulnerable moments with you, to communicate and talk, and it be an actual safe space like you want with your man, but he can't have it with you. So I think that's another thing that women need to do versus just actually two people caring. It's deeper than that.
Yes.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think a lot of it comes from the way in that instance, excuse me, the way that young woman was raised and who she was raised around and what type of example she saw.
Yeah.
Because all too often there's a lot of ladies who weren't raised around men like that, and the men they were raised around were hard, rough around the edges, didn't do those type of things. So they won't be open to accept that type of behavior because it's soft to them. Oh, he's soft. Oh, he, you know what I'm saying? He weak, you know, and they see that as a weakness. So unfortunately for them, there are a lot of women who won't be able to accept that because that's not who, you know, their examples are. But, you know,
I agree.
For a lot of women out there, if that's what they're looking for, there's guys that are willing to do that, but you have to work to get to that point, and they have to be able to let that shield down in order to be able to do that in front of you, because they've been ostracized too many times in their life for being soft or for being kind, or for the nice guy. And you know, like I said, for me, at one point, I tell people this all the time. There was a lot of ladies in high school that said, "Oh, you too nice," or "You too nice," and I didn't understand it, you know. But now some of those same women are like, "Hey, Ken, how you doing? What you up to now?" Nah,
don't come back over here.
You
don't get to spin the block on me.
Yeah.
Stay over there with the thugs.
We good over here.
Over here. Stay over there with the thugs. I don't want you. No, I'm good. I'm straight.
We good over here.
That's unfortunate, but we gotta unlearn those behaviors that we thought are what we need to look for because we seen mom and dad or whatever. Like, you know, even with the abusive relationships, like, oh, that's love, they stay together. No. Like, y'all gotta go. Y'all gotta unlearn. We gotta unlearn things that we witness or see as our examples.
Yep.
I agree. Definitely unlearning some stuff for sure.
All right, so let's hop on our graphic. You know what I'm saying? We always bring a graphic, and this is a graphic that we kind of pull from to talk about this topic. And we're not gonna stay on it too long, but we wanted to give y'all some information, some, you know, have that dialogue with y'all up front, and then y'all know we always gonna have some remedy to the situation. Now let me say this: these are not cure-alls. We can't tell you that any of this stuff is going to work in your personal situation. We just want to give you some options. So just in case you would like to try some of this stuff, utilize any of these tools that we have, we like to bring them to you because we like to bring you some type of resources. So this is one of the graphics that we pulled, and we'll break down both sides. Deal breaker or worth fixing. You got deal breaker on one side. You got questions that you need to ask yourself, like, is it negatively impacting my mental health, self-esteem, or quality of life? Right? If you ask yourself that and the answer is yes, is that a deal breaker? So is that a deal breaker for y'all? If something is negatively impacting your mental health, self-esteem, or quality of life?
Hell yeah.
For me, yeah.
Yes. That's yes.
For me, yeah.
No doubt about it.
Off the top, if you messing with Benji's self-esteem, oh, we got problems.
Right.
If I don't know who I am anymore, basically, my self-esteem, my mental health, no. And we done
if
been
I'm
there.
around
We
you,
there. No.
And you ain't got cocky Benji, we got problems. I'm just saying.
I think somebody need to sit you down.
Oh, wow.
You know what? This is coming from the same person who enjoys calling people ugly just like I do.
That's okay. They need to be set down.
I mean, I'm just saying. It's just listen. It's just mandatory. All right.
All right. So another thing under the deal breaker, is it in direct opposition to my value system? Like you got your system of values. So if you got a person come along and they're an amazing person, but they're in direct opposition to your values that you hold and you've built throughout your whole life, is that a deal breaker?
Depends on what that person's value system is, because some of these folks
rich?
come from the streets.
Are we getting rich?
I mean, let's not even factor money into it.
Because we all know parents who knew their sons was selling drugs,
right.
and that money kept them quiet.
Right.
And you knew you knew your mama wasn't proud of you, but that money kept her quiet. So we got to talk. We got to be honest about that value system, because some of our folks' value systems is off.
Right.
I can't. I mean, does that include religion and stuff too? What if?
Yeah, I would include.
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would include religion in that.
I don't know. I can't say.
Yeah, I think it could. It just depends on what religion you're a part of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What value system falls under, because certain things are just not, negotiable, right? Just certain things, like if you're in a certain religion and you have to wear a certain type of clothing, and that person just really don't want to do that type of stuff. Like I'm not wearing my traditional dress, and then you're saying you don't want to wear it, but in my culture, when we go places together, you have to be dressed this way. Like that's never gonna work, right? Because go to these events, family events or whatever, my family is a certain culture, and you can't dress up like this or you refuse to. That's in a lot of cultures, that's a sign of disrespect.
Disrespect, yes.
For this person not to take part in that. So that could definitely be a deal breaker.
I would agree.
Definitely be a deal breaker. All right. Is it a behavior that I have been told repeatedly will be changed and has not been? That's a no-brainer.
Oh yeah, that's a no-brainer.
But let me say this: a lot of us fall for that.
I know.
Agree.
I've been the person, and I've been the person that fell for it.
So you have, huh?
I have been the person. I have. But before
look at you coming clean like a chitlin. Okay.
I do. There's a lot of self-improvement I did on myself before I became who I am. Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Look at you coming clean tonight. You all right?
I hold myself accountable.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's a different one, because sometimes I'm like Trisha Michelle. Like I've been a part of both. I've been the person that listens to somebody tell me repeatedly that they're gonna make these changes and don't, and then I've been that person who said, "Yeah, I'm gonna make these changes," and I didn't. So I think we've all been guilty of that, and we've all fallen victim to that. But you have to learn that over a certain period of time,
I told y'all, stop trying to change people.
Yeah, you have to say, what this is who this person is. Am I willing to accept them at face value for who they are? If the answer is no, then it's a deal breaker.
I think that's a question people need to constantly ask themselves as people continue to show you themselves throughout dating. Is that without changing or wanting this person to change, can I accept them as is?
Right.
Yep.
Because those behaviors, they could be pretty bad, especially when we talked about earlier that you become the person that you are with. So that person's behavior can instantly become your behavior.
That too.
Right.
Yep. So we have one comment here. Christy Elwell said, I can attest to the fact that, number one, therapy works. She prefers counseling pertaining to the word, which, the Bible. Number two, personal accountability has brought me my furthest. Okay. So
I agree. Because that's how I changed.
Yeah, those are points, and you have to be.
I don't think you changed, Patricia. No, I'm just messing with you.
I just send out people now for people that get on my nerves.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, I think it's tough.
You don't throw punch them no more, huh?
I think it's tough to hear somebody tell you something and they mean well, but at the end of the day, they're not going to change.
Right.
So
yeah,
you just got
unfortunately, yeah.
So how long are you giving a person with behavior issues? Now we're not talking like kid behavior issues, which in actuality some grown folks act like kids, but Nikita, how long you giving a person with these behavior issues to change? 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 6 months? What?
Honestly, it's not about the length of months or days. It's how many times you keep doing the same thing. So for me, it's like if you do something, depending on what you do, say for instance, cheating or lying, anything that can break my trust. It's not a matter of you 6 months. It's a matter of how many times have you lied to me. Right. And so for me, that's what it depends on.
Okay, I dig that. I like that. Can't be a habitual liar,
right?
And expect me to just overlook it.
Yeah, like, oh, he's gonna change, and it's been 2 years now. You're not changing.
Right.
You lied to me. You feel comfortable at this point lying to me.
That's all they did. They just got comfortable with it.
Yeah.
They developed a habit. And
yeah, absolutely.
What if he lying about taking gas station pills?
He gonna lie.
As long as I'm pleased, I'm fine. Take gas station pills, whatever. As long as no, why not gas station pills? I don't know.
I'm telling you,
you're gonna have heart issues after a while, organ issues.
That stuff is not meant. That stuff is not meant for consumption over long periods of time. Y'all better leave that stuff alone.
I need to get me an old man and give him some gas station pills and be on his wheel.
You see, and I thought you said you changed. See, you changed.
Look, she is the prime example of. You see how quick she went back to her.
See, I will say this: the thoughts of Christian Michelle is not the thoughts of the Fiyah Session podcast.
I'm just let me disclaimer
because we don't want her later on in life. Somebody, you know what I'm saying, get the gas
right.
over, and they be like,
she's trying to kill that brother.
Nah, stay away from the gas station field, though, fellas.
There you go, fellas. We have a behavior issue there. She's into murdering brothers now.
I love my brothers.
Terrible. All right, so we'll go with this one. Is it going to create long-lasting resentment? So I think that goes back to what Nikki was saying earlier.
Yeah.
When you cheat and you find out that person cheated, I think those are very, very hard. Probably the hardest situation, because that is gonna create long-lasting resentment.
Yeah,
hands down. Because you have to be that person. If you're going to keep bringing it up and you're going to keep bringing it up, you need to go ahead and leave, because you're never going to be. But
it's never going to be resolved.
Yeah, it's never going to be resolved, because you keep it's just like a scab. You keep pulling the scab off of the wound. It's just going to keep, being what it's going to be. So unless you're willing to fully move on and not even dwell in that, which is going to be super hard for most people, like, that's a deal breaker.
Let him cheat in peace. If you didn't accepted her or him back after he didn't cheated more than once, let that brother or sister cheat in peace.
Because he gonna cheat again.
That's
a fact.
Yes.
That's a fact.
The behaviors. If that's your behavior, that's your thing, that's what you're gonna do.
That's a fact.
Get somebody else to do it.
All right.
I mean, the problem is you're gonna find somebody else that's gonna do the same thing. So,
well, I mean, that's always a chance. But okay, so the next one is it reinforcing insecure attachment or trauma wounds? So earlier, I mean, we talked about this, and we talked about this a lot. Trauma bonds. That's basically what we're talking about. Like, is it are you bonding because of the moments of trauma that you had? Like, if that's y'all's bond, that's probably not going to be good going in the long run.
It's not going to end well, and neither one are going to benefit or better one another. There's no growth there. There's y'all just stuck in trauma together.
Right.
A trauma bond is similar to Elmer's glue versus super glue. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll hold it together, but it's going to eventually fall apart.
It ain't going to hold on to much, but it's
because we know Elmer's glue is going to work, but it's only going to work for a little while. It's not super glue
before it falls off.
You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind.
And I think the big issue with all of that is people just not being honest with themselves. If you know that you in a relationship that is going to shit, can I cuss on here? But just be honest with yourself, because at least you know the direction y'all are going in. I think that the issue is people lie to themselves too much.
That's a fact.
I agree.
Yeah.
Especially when they get in relationships.
Yeah.
They don't want, so for example, I mentioned this to a friend of mine, and I said, listen, man, if you are a sexaholic, ain't no need in you trying to get in a relationship and acting like you're not a sexaholic.
Right.
Like, be open about it. Is the girl that you're potentially wanting to be with, does she love sex as much as you? If not, you're going to have a problem, because the essence of who you are is you love sex. So there's nothing wrong with it. You love sex. You got to meet somebody that loves sex just as much as you. And of course, there's more to it than that. But overall, don't get in a relationship and lie and think that you're just going to wipe away who you are as a person that loves sex. It's just not going to work, man.
And then the person that you tell that you love sex need not to lie to themselves to make themselves think that they can change you, or it's going to change somewhere down the line. Because now you're lying to yourself. That's self-deception. And that's what a lot of relationships are founded on, is self-deception and lies.
Yeah. It's just facts.
You're too busy trying to
you can't be open and honest with the person you're with, so you're going to have an issue. You're trying to cover up something that doesn't necessarily need to be covered up, but you're going to lie about it. And eventually it's going to show, because you're going to want sex 2-3 times a day, 4-5 times a week. That's why I said, Nikita, earlier, once a month. I
was just saying, don't take that with a grain of salt. I was just saying.
Not going to work.
He said,
once a month.
Yeah, no, not going to work.
And for me, that's fine, because like for me, one of my biggest things have been, and people always ask me, oh my God, why are you single? Because I don't want to be in a relationship. I am like poly. If I ever get in a relationship, I want 2-3 husbands. I'm honest with myself enough to say that. And anybody who's going to be with me is going to have to understand who I am, wholly. And if you can't, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
But and that's being upfront and honest about her, what she wants, and then therefore she will find like-minded people and go from there.
Exactly.
Well, hold on. Wait a minute. We definitely have to have Miss Nikita back on the show, because that's an interesting topic. The poly thing.
The poly life. We got to do a show on that. Definitely got to
talk about that, because I think there's a lot of misnomers out there, and people really don't know what that all entails, what that life is about. So we want to take a little deeper dive into that and have people who actually are part of that to actually educate people on what that actually is and what it's all about. So we'll dive into that another time. But we appreciate your transparency on that one. All right. So I think we covered all of the ones on the deal breaker. Let's hop over to the next side. How we're going to work on it. If we're going to work on it, is it bothering me, but it's something that we can resolve? Of course. If it's something we can resolve, we got to work on it, right?
Step away and come back.
Yeah, it's something we got to work on. The next one, is it an outlier situation that I don't feel is consistent with that person's character? You know who this person is if you've been with them for a long time. If it's a one-off thing and it's something that you know is really not that person, then yes, I think that can be something that can be worked on. But
I'm watching you.
Facts. But if you do it again, if you do it twice, then
now you became the other one that keeps apologizing for the behavior that keeps happening.
Yeah. So you know what this list is turning into, that thing, back in school where we have the list of scenarios in class, and it said if this then this. So this is what this is turning into. So if you do this, then you do this. But if you do this, then you go over here and you apply this. So this is what we're giving you. We're giving y'all, because I know somebody out there is going through a situation right now where they're trying to figure out whether I need to leave or whether I need to stay.
And don't you tell them Fiyah session said you got to go.
Yeah, don't be lying on us. Just trying to get you. We're just putting the medicine in the candy.
Well, what you should have done is told them to watch it with you, so we could tell them for you, so they could hear it for themselves, so they could hear these things that we're talking about and look at themselves and say, "Yep, you know what? I fall in that category too. Yep, I fall in that category too." So we could have did your work for you. So next time tune in because you know what I'm saying, these are good topics, and you know some of y'all are actually dealing with these situations.
And you got to understand, people, intimacy brings closeness. If you're intimate with someone, they're going to know the nuances that come from you.
Yes.
So you got to prepare yourself and know this off the top, that intimacy brings closeness. So this person is going to know you got doo-doo stains in your drawers.
Right.
So like you gotta understand this, all of that. Like it's just real. Like
because intimacy means
like if you with somebody, you're going to know all of the things that pertain to them. You're gonna know that them eyelashes ain't really hurt.
Because
you're gonna know where the wig hangs up. You know what I'm saying?
And
you need to brush that joint. You know what I'm saying? You know,
People
her hair is gonna be all over the place in your crib. You gotta know all of these things.
Because it means into me you see. Intimacy. Into me you see. So you're going to see all of me. You see, what people don't understand, naked is not when you take your clothes off. Naked is when you have bared your soul to me.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
You know?
And if you out there and you got doo-doo stains, one caveat to that, you got doo-doo stains, stay away from white underwear. That's step one.
No, that's not step one.
Yeah.
Hey,
no,
man, I'm just saying.
No, I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's good too. But some of these people, hey, they just weren't trained. They just weren't brought up right. And also,
use baby wipes, brother. Use baby wipes.
Well, not baby wipes.
Not baby wipes. That's not good for you.
Well, they have dude wipes now.
Well, no, they have
all the same wipes.
Yeah, you can have. They have flushable toilet paper wipes.
Right.
Yes, they do.
They won't mess up your plumbing.
Wipe until you don't see nothing. Okay.
I mean, there you go. Dude wipes, y'all might want to give us an endorsement deal as well. So shout out. I know somebody watching.
Because y'all gotta do better, man. Because if women are complaining about that type of stuff, it just ain't old school way. You know,
I can't have you walking around in your drawers and it's stuck to your ass. We can't do that.
Well, let's move on here.
Hey,
I'm gonna be like,
listen, you're gonna know these things when you're with somebody for a period of time.
That's why you need to date for a little bit.
Yeah, y'all need to date for a little bit. You know, that's why I like to have you over to my crib so you can get to see the real me. Everybody don't get that experience. So
yeah, you can see that you can see that he can't reach his fire smoke alarm.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry, man. Ken, this is the one thing, you know what I'm saying? Short don't work for me. You know what I'm saying? I can't even reach my freaking
I think he twerked during sex and keep bananas on the side of the bed too.
Oh.
Is that what you No. That's what you said.
Ooh. Oh, wow.
Listen, man. Listen.
That's what he said, y'all.
You just need the potassium so you can, you don't catch a Charlie horse in your leg.
Hey, yo.
I wasn't coming for you, Benji.
Take your daily vitamins, Benji. Just take your daily vitamins.
Patricia, vitamins don't put that. Banana works faster.
Okay.
Yeah, I told him if he has banana by his bed, just don't have the whole banana. Like go ahead and cut it up. Go ahead and cut it up because
he might like to eat it whole.
Oh, see.
Okay, next on the list here. Next on the list here.
Oh man, we done got raw on this joint. Okay, Patricia, you're revealing yourself tonight. Go on, girl, with your best. All right with me.
Let's get out of that one. It's something they have taken ownership of and are putting efforts into change. That's definitely, when you're working on it, that's something that they have to do.
Accountability.
Like you have to show me that you understand that this is incorrect in what you're doing. And then you have to show me that you're working toward changing. Because other than that, it's just words. And I don't believe words. It's just like when people apologize. You can tell me, but show me.
You're right.
My ears are broke. You got to show me.
I'm going to need your ears to work. But
no, my ears broke.
Your eyes too. I'm going to need both. Ears and eyes.
Ears and eyes? We need both. Ears and eyes. Okay, but if you're not showing me nothing, What we gonna do? What is we gonna do?
But you didn't even know that I apologized because your ears broke.
Oh, but I can see it in your actions though.
No.
Oop.
You don't know. You don't even know what I'm doing. You don't even know to pay
That's
attention. You don't
true.
know nothing.
That is true.
Okay.
Because we didn't communicate.
Because if she mentions it, then you know that you know to be on the lookout for it. Okay, she's articulated that I'm gonna make these changes, and now it's like, okay, that's the sign to start looking for the change.
Right.
I said it, you know what I'm saying? Because that's one part of, you know what I'm saying, letting people know that you understand your fault is it verbally, you know what I'm saying, saying, look, I apologize, I'm gonna make these changes. And then now it's time for you to show me because you said it. So I'm not looking
Y'all
for.
both have, if both of the points are so rich though, because we got to go back to the old school saying, actions speak louder than words,
and
as
they do,
well,
and
you
they
know.
do.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
But my thing
right,
is,
because I need you to show me because I'm big on showing.
Which is true. So say you're disagreeing and she's really mad about whatever it is that you did, but actions speak louder than words. So you said my ears are broke. So you're not gonna say I was wrong or whatever because you just gonna show her. But she's still going off on you. She's still pissed off all day because she don't even know you even acknowledging it because you're not gonna talk. You just gonna show her. So you gotta say.
I can agree with that.
You gotta at least say, okay, you know
my
what?
bad.
I can do this better. I'm gonna work on that at least. Now,
well, see, I'm a little different. See, what all I do is I don't avoid you. Like I come to you. Like I want to be present with you. Like I'm not just going to avoid you from time to time to time, hour after hour after hour. Nah, if I'm interested in you and we have an issue, like I'm just not gonna let it fester. Like I'm gonna come to you in, my little soft swag way, you get what I'm saying? And talk it a little different. Try to figure it out. Try to see what's up. You get what I'm saying? That's me. Bring you your favorite wine or your favorite fruit or your favorite snack and be like, hey, you know what? Can we talk about this?
Get to fixing the shit, then don't bring me no wine. Fix it.
right. And see, y'all want you want the eyes to work and the ears to work. I just want the damn tongue to work. I'm just playing.
No, you're not. Don't you backtrack. This is Fiyah session.
That's gonna work too. But see, that's the thing. Then they're gonna get you every time. He gonna be like, here, sit down. No. Go.
Yes, that's the way. That's how you're supposed to apologize. Come here, girl. Come here.
Go fix it.
No, that ain't gonna work.
Go fix it.
No, go fix it.
And then spin the block.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right. Fix it first, brothers. Then spin the block. So don't spin the block and try to eat that thing without. Okay, I understand.
I got all right. So the next one up is it something I will be able to accept and move past? And you got to ask yourself that question, because again, I think one of the comments. Let me go back to the comments. It was a great comment by Liz Mitchell. She says, "Don't expect changes, and you aren't willing to work on your flaws. To say I am and accept that, so it says I'm not willing to put in the work for you," which kind of falls along that same line where, we can apologize and people can accept an apology, but there are some people out there who are just set on who they are, and they're just like, "Well, this is who I am." So
and that's okay,
right?
But
no, that ain't okay. You grown. You should be able to say, "I'm working on this."
No,
not that
fine.
This is who I am.
No, that's fine, but you just not for me. You could be
right.
I can respect the fact that you just telling me, you know what, I'm not willing to change that.
Right.
Now the ball's in
I can respect that.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean I have to stay now because
that's what I'm saying. It's okay. That's fine that this is who you are. You are absolutely right. But I don't want that.
Yep. Now the ball's in my court. Now the decision's up to me to say, you know what, I don't want to accept that. So I'm just gonna keep it pushing.
Exactly. So, facts.
And again, I'm not saying leaving any relationship, especially if it's a long one and you all have a lot of things involved, it's easy to walk away from. But you gotta protect your peace. You have to look at what is more valuable, because I tell people all the time, listen, if you don't protect your peace and you stay in these relationships that stress you out, one day you're gonna die, and that person is gonna cry and gonna show up at your funeral, and the next person that they're gonna be with is probably sitting out in that audience, because it's not this is mine for a lifetime. It's just your turn right now.
Right.
You know so I mean,
your piece, man. Put your piece first.
yeah, because even after that person's long gone, you still gotta function. You still gotta live, and that person is still gonna live when you pass on. So don't let nobody stress you out and put you in the ground.
Facts.
They're gonna go find somebody else.
Right.
All right. So, is there something I disagree with but can understand the perspective on? This is a difficult one for most people, but for me, being married as long as I've been married, I've learned how to deal with it.
Right.
Because there are many things that me and my wife see totally different on.
Right.
We have to find that middle ground. We have to, right? You have to. And sometimes there are certain instances where there is no middle ground, and one person has to concede to, whatever wants to go on at that point in time. But that comes with maturity. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes people have this misnomer that love is just going to take you to these amazing places. Yeah, it can, but sometimes it just ain't about that. Sometimes it's just logic.
Yeah,
exactly.
The other end.
Self-explanatory, regular stuff. Like, ain't got nothing to do with love. It's just common sense.
Common sense. You know what I'm saying? And as I say all the time, common sense ain't common. So I say logic. Logic.
It's on sale. It's on sale.
So,
but no, I think it is a very mature thing to be able to do.
Right.
Yeah. So Christy Elwell said, this is a great comment. Too many people are negotiating their non-negotiables for reasons they cannot explain. That is amazing, because it's a lot of stuff that we say and we feel is non-negotiable, but then we feel a certain way about this person, and we find ourselves telling ourselves, well, it'll be okay. I could just bend this time. I could just bend for this person, because I care so much about them.
People be caught up in the money or the and then they be like, well, and no, there's 8 billion people in this world.
Yeah.
That's why I said earlier, man, you got to genuinely be together with two people, that like each other, because some people are in it for what they can get out of it temporarily. They already know they ain't playing long term. They just know in the moment I can get whatever I can get out of this, and that's it.
Yeah.
So, like, to find out off top whether somebody likes you, you like them, to me, I can't compromise. I can never compromise that. I never will.
Yeah.
And that's why I ain't in no long-term relationship, because, I ain't going to let you play with me. It's just simple as that.
Yeah, it seems like it's difficult out there now, because a lot of people like to play with people's emotions. And
they do.
Again,
they got time for it. You got one shot with me.
Or sometimes it's not even that people like to play with people's emotions. It's just that people are allowing people to play with their damn emotions. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, you can't get. I'm too high vibrational to even allow somebody to think they're gonna play with me. It's like you have to see the red flags and start saying, this ain't a red flag no more. This is a deal breaker.
But see, those red flags need to be deal breakers, because at the end of the day,
that's what I'm saying.
Broken,
yes.
When it ends, it's always those red flags you seen at the beginning. It's
right. And that's what I'm saying. It's not even a red flag no more. It's a deal breaker. And so to me, it's a lot of times you want to blame the person versus taking accountability for, I should have seen this.
Right.
I should have knew better. Or I know I knew better. So.
Yep. But what's the funny thing is, red flags, red light, same thing, means stop. And run into an issue because they run that red light, and then what happens when you run a red light? You put yourself in imminent danger.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the same thing with running a red flag. You put yourself in imminent danger, and you already know, you know what I'm saying, that there's going to be some repercussions for that. So, you have to look at it that way. You have to view things that way. You have to be smarter. As you get older, you should become wiser, and you should not be making the same dumb mistakes you made at 20 when you're 40.
Yeah, the less time you got to deal with it.
You don't waste 20 years of your life if you're still making the same type of decisions, because what was you doing during that 20 years?
Right.
You wasn't getting no wiser. You wasn't taking in the experiences that you have and applying that knowledge that you've learned over that time span. Like, you gotta be smarter, people. You know what I'm saying?
Some people like being hurt because it makes them feel alive.
You know what? That is very true.
That is true, unfortunately.
Some people like to play that hurt victim role, like it gets them off or whatever it may be. But that's very
therapy
true.
is
that's why I was gonna say one word,
necessary.
They need therapy.
Therapy, counseling, whatever you want to call it.
Something.
Get you some so that you can heal.
Did you say go get you some?
Get you some therapy, some therapy.
Okay, my bad.
No, don't get you some, because then you get them soul ties and then you start trying to find it and then you start doing other things. Don't do that. Go get you some therapy.
Okay. I was just making sure, because you told me you changed and then you flipped on me saying you're going, you know what I'm saying, get old man at the gas station.
You need to know where I came from first, sir, and I didn't come from that.
Oh, wow. Check, please.
Check, please.
All right, so this last one we got at the bottom here. Is this something I can compromise on without betraying myself?
Betraying myself. That is deep.
Well, unfortunately, as we kind of mentioned earlier in the conversation, a lot of us betray ourselves because we go against our very principles. We go against everything that, you know what I'm saying, that we said we wouldn't do. You find yourself in a situation where that's exactly what you're doing.
So does love make you, I'm not going to answer it. I have my own opinion on it. Does being in love make you betray yourself?
No.
It shouldn't.
No. I think people like to use it as a blanketed, I was in love, I was stupid. No, you wasn't, because you knew, you just was like,
I think
so it doesn't make you overlook a person's flaws or a person's issues or a person's behaviors.
Absolutely.
Yep.
You overlook something because you want to. It isn't because you're in love.
Right.
Okay.
Or because you are in lust, because that could not be even in love. Because for me, anytime a man asks you or a woman asks you to accept his wrongdoing against you, say for instance, cheat, lie, whatever it is, steal from you, whatever it is, and he asks you to accept me for that, he's asking you to betray yourself. You know, and then when you betray yourself, it's not even on him. You know, because you owe yourself respect. You owe yourself that loyalty. You owe yourself that love. You don't supposed to be loyal to nobody but you.
If you betray yourself and something happens, I hope you're okay with it.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part, because you can betray yourself and lose yourself, and the other person goes on with their life as if nothing ever happened.
And that's one thing I told myself, I won't ever. I done it before and lost myself, and didn't even remember who I was, or could not, like, who am I? Like, and then
what? So we getting the change, Patricia.
I will never do that again for anybody.
Right.
We getting the change, Patricia. I like this version right here. I don't know what the other version like, but I'm glad we met this version.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Well, Christy Elway, I showed this a little earlier, and I'm going to go back to we betray ourselves and call it a leap of faith. I've heard people do that before. Girl, I'm just going to do this, and I'm just going to do this and pray about it. Now
I'm gonna see where it lands.
No, church.
Look.
No, church
you can't just go throwing stuff out there and praying to God.
God didn't tell you that.
Right.
God didn't tell you.
Lying on the Lord.
God didn't tell you that.
Right. God said, "Be aware now. Come on now." He didn't say just let God have it. No, you know dang well he ain't no good.
Facts.
God gonna be like.
Well,
one of the old prophets did fall in love with a prostitute, but that's another story. We ain't gonna talk about
that.
There are plenty of
Nikita know. She got a church background, but we ain't gonna discuss that right now. We're gonna ride over that hill.
Well, I'll say this and then we'll close. A lot of us out here in the world, not saying us, it's us personally, but I'm saying us as human beings, have fallen for people that will fall into the category of a prostitute, somebody who's a hoe, somebody who's out here in these streets. A lot of people have fallen for those type of individuals. So we're not gonna look.
You want to know why?
What? but you have to learn from it once you go through those situations, because a lot of times you have, what I'm saying, situations that occur and people don't learn from it, and they allow that to perpetuate.
Right.
Sometimes that even becomes their type of person that they like, that they're drawn to.
You gotta date.
Right.
You
You
want to
gotta
know
date
why
yourself
though?
too. So you
Yeah.
A
learn
hoe will
yourself.
put in work
But
on male and female side.
what's wrong with
And
a
a
hoe
lot of
though?
people
Ain't
have
nothing
not
wrong with a hoe.
experienced that level and it gets a hold of them. And I'm telling you, you got to be careful, because one thing a hoe will do, they'll put in work.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with, because we really try to label women as that when she is free with herself, and she don't even have to be sleeping with a lot of people. She could just be honest with her sexuality and know
Right.
who she is, and we'll automatically label that as a whore. As long as I'm a truthful hoe, it's the lying hoes that's the problem.
She an honest hoe.
Hey,
You
listen,
be an honest
it's
hoe.
on both sides.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna
There's
say. For me, it's male and female.
It's
Yeah,
male and
it's
female.
on both sides.
Any man who's been popping,
Not gonna do it.
got his stuff together, had his stuff together, knows he's got swagger, I guarantee you at some point in his life he was a hoe.
Right.
So
It happens. You know what I'm saying? Check the whole facts. All right.
I'm just saying.
If you a hoe, you gotta go. I'm sorry, that is a deal breaker here.
All right, y'all. So I think we've given them a lot of information, a lot of great feedback, a lot of good things that they could possibly go on. We appreciate the audience for chiming in. Y'all were amazing tonight.
Y'all were amazing tonight. Appreciate y'all.
A lot to talk about, and a lot to digest. Anybody who missed a lot of the show, you can always go back and look at it on our platforms on Facebook and on YouTube. But before we get up out of here, you know how we do. We just want to give everybody an opportunity to give some parting words and let you know where to find them on social media. So because we have a special guest today, we'll let Miss Nikita go first. Miss Nikita, talk to the people before we get up out of here. Leave them with some great parting words and let them know where to find you on social media.
Well, you can find me at Nikita Wilson, or I have another page, Clarity Reading, on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram as Clarity Reading, TikTok as Clarity Reading. And my wisdom would just be your authentic self, period. Regardless of who you are, just be you fully, because that's when you can really find authentic relationships, is when you operate in your authentic self.
Hey, can't get no plainer than that.
You can't get no,
She told you. I know you understand it. So follow that. And
Be
go
you.
follow social media so you can get that information.
Yeah.
No doubt. Trisha Michelle, talk to the people.
Hey y'all. No, y'all can find me on Instagram.
Did you hit us with the white girl again?
It's right there, Trisha Michelle _YT. Trisha Michelle _ on TikTok, Trisha Michelle on YouTube. Yeah, that's about it. That's all y'all need to go to. Make sure you the Fiyah session always, because if you're looking for me, you can always find me there. In the comments, comment on the little videos when we talking, subscribe, hit the button. But outside of that, what's my feedback or my advice or my last bit of words to the people out there, piggybacking off of Nikita? For sure, be your authentic 100 self, because all of that whole just faking to be somebody real quick always ends up, the true person always comes out. So just be you, and you'll find that real person for you. And at the end of the day, if you don't even know who you are, go get some therapy and heal yourself first before you even try to find somebody that you can be your 100% with.
And hey, y'all, that's the change Patricia talking. So y'all listen to that.
Y'all better listen, because I took the advice I'm giving. I took.
Right.
That's what's up.
That's good.
Solid.
Benji Banks, the man, the brand, Benji Banks. Talk to the people, man.
What's going on, good people? Sorry, man. My what do you call that? We call that up there, Ken? The smoke detector. I can't reach it. So these are the downsides of being short. So if y'all heard that little beep, beep, beep in the background, you know what I'm saying? That's your boy, but I'll have it rectified. So
I'll come do it for you.
Oh, this is coming from the person that's shorter than me. Dang. Okay. But hey, follow your boy on Instagram, IGBRB4701. That's where we're posting all our content. We're putting all our business stuff on there. You'll be able to go check that out. You can't miss me on Facebook, Benji Banks. You can't miss me there. We always clowning on there. We always making stuff happen. Be on the lookout for some great things. Got a sip and paint coming up, and we definitely want you to be a part of some fundraisers attached to that. Just a lot of great things going on. And follow your boy. Go click them links in the bio. Check your boy. Always got that wine on deck. Go check it out. A lot of you have tried it and have tasted it, and I appreciate and have bought. And I appreciate each and every last one of y'all. Shout out to Patricia, who's always my taste tester. So I appreciate her. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight, man. Like, y'all been amazing tonight. We're working on this platform, man. We're putting it together. We think we have a dope platform that people want to be a part of. And we're always looking for the dopest guests to come on and be just what we bring, man. This free-flowing atmosphere where we talk about legit stuff and not just clown around, but we, every now and then, but we bring some legit stuff to the table. So y'all like it, y'all share it, y'all tell your friends, go to the YouTube page, subscribe, do all of that, man, and support your boy. We're still trying to get over 4,000 on YouTube. We're going to hit it. We're still trying to get over that 1,000 mark on the Fire Session page. Go check it out.
We're going to hit him with the exit ceremonial music because I forgot he was doing the exits.
Yeah, I need to find that. I need to find that clip.
I forgot.
On the award, so.
Yeah. You see, this is why I love these two people, because they always.
I swear, I forgot.
I just love them. I just love them. They always messing with me. They always doing something, but it's all right.
My bad. You had a lot to say.
My bad. I ain't even know.
So you were asleep. Okay. It's all right. It's all right. That's all right. You see, this is the abuse I get on the show. No, this is what I deal with every week.
Y'all already know that's my fam. You know what I'm saying? Trisha Michelle, that's our new family. You know what I'm saying? And we got a lot of love for the crew, for the Fire Station.
Yeah, she crazy, y'all. So leave her alone.
We got a lot of love for our guests that come on the show. And we appreciate Miss Nikita for coming on the show.
Thank
you. Chopping
dope
it up.
Dope show.
And giving us the great feedback that she gave us. Y'all already know y'all can find me at Big Ken's Comedy on IG, Big Ken's Comedy on Twitter, Big Ken's Comedy on Facebook. Y'all can follow the Fire Session on all social media platforms. Just type in FRYAH Session on all the social media platforms and YouTube. It'll pop right up. You're on that YouTube, go ahead and click that subscribe button and that bell just so you'll know when we post any new content, when we go live. And these shows are 1,000% live. We are talking right now as we speak. So the people who are in the comment can attest to it. Like, we're posting them as we go. We're seeing them, we're reading them, and we're getting active with it. So we appreciate you all joining us. We appreciate you all joining in on the conversation. Your contributions are not overlooked. So if we didn't get a chance to put your comment up, our apologies. We can't get them all. We just try to get some as we flow, because sometimes they really get to flowing. And guess what? I'm a one-man show over here, producer behind the show. So I just try to put them up as we go. So, but please keep supporting us. As Benji mentioned, go to the page. We're trying to get to that 4,000 mark on YouTube. We're also trying to get to that 1,000 mark on Facebook. And Benji's playing the violin, but this ain't for me. This for the Fire Session. I ain't
right. Like, he get to talk.
Yeah, it's all love. It's for the crew. It's not for me. So again, we appreciate you all. You all be safe. Enjoy the rest of your week. We know the Christmas holidays is coming. We got a couple more episodes before we take our break, so don't miss out on the next 2 episodes. I promise you they will be dope, and you do not want to miss them. So for the next 2 Tuesdays, make sure you stay tuned.
You listen, next week we got a lady who owns her own vodka brand. I want y'all to tune in. It's going to be a dope interview. Dope interview. So y'all come peep it out. Got our own vodka brand. So listen, got to tune in. Got to come check us out. You'll love it.
And definitely don't want to miss the season finale in a couple of weeks, because it's going to be a doozy. You thought tonight's show was good? That show is gonna be
Yeah,
fireworks.
it's gonna be off the charts.
Uh-oh.
We got some heavy hitters coming.
Don't miss it.
It's gonna be a little while. It's gonna be a little while. So we got to go out for the year with a bang, and then we'll be back in 2023. So keep supporting us, keep rocking with us. We appreciate you all. We love you all, family. Y'all be safe. Y'all already know what it is. It's the Fiyah Session. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to the Fiyah Session. Follow us on all social media platforms. Just search Fiyah Session.